JJ, the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Gene, I'm back. I see you. Welcome. How is the dynamic duo? We're doing good today. It feels like a Friday, even though it's not. How's everybody else doing out there today? We've got lots going on right now. We have the House that is voting on PPP2. So we're going to be glad for that to pass, and then we can get some more details of what's going on. Let's see. Yes, Jason, I am seeing that. House voting on PPP2 now. Boom. New bank locked and loaded. Another shot at it. Good luck to everyone trying to get PPP loan, and thanks to JJ and Amanda for helping us prep for it. Yeah, I'm excited for you, Jason, for sure. Jason was the kind of the inspiration for getting the fire lit underneath me. So Michael, good to see you again. Vicky, hi from California. With flying colors, put us in front of 10,000 people yesterday. Hey, Uncle JJ and Auntie Amanda. I love that. Intuitive Psychic. Let's see, please give me your email. JJ at jjthecpahelp.com. Let's say it passed. Okay, good. I was seeing that it was there. Dax, another day, more learning. I appreciate that, and appreciated your email as well. Let's see, Dad, 124 to 1 was the vote. Let's see, client services. I love all your videos. Thank you so much, all the way from Kissimmee, Florida. Oh, Coach's Pit Barbecue. Who else we got on? Who else we giving shout outs to? We got to move this over here because we want you to be able, everybody to be able to hear you too.
Hello everyone. We have Roadline and Augie and Alexander. Hello Daryl and Michael. Tracy's on.
All right, Tracy.
Michael.
Got your email, Tracy. Wow.
Oh,
man.
Nancy H.
Nancy.
Good afternoon, JJ and Amanda. I just finally got my PPP money yesterday. Thank you for all your help.
Yes, yes.
We got Andre and Enrique and Candace is back.
Let's see.
Sarah
Blanco
Kay.
Morgan.
Yep.
You're awesome. Thank you. Kissimmee. Andy D.
Yep.
Well, you say one and I'll say one. You say one. That's it. We'll get our rhythm.
Okay, we'll get our rhythm.
You go first.
Carol's on. Hey, Carol.
Enrique, thank you so much.
Fred. One potato, two
All
potatoes.
right. Fred's on. Candace, thank you. Hey, guys, look forward to each day. Such great info. Enjoying your book, JJ. Thank you so much.
Aww.
Amanda, still waiting on yours to come from Amazon. Thank you so much. Sarah Kay.
Kathleen Babcock. Hello.
And let's see, we've got Cheryl from Central Coast of California.
Nice. And Vicky, thank you for being so freaking amazing. Love watching you. I appreciate you more than words can say, and I love your snappy blazers.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see, Albert. Hey, JJ, is it possible to download your form that has to do with the quarters explanation? Thank you for lightening us. The quarters explanation. Help me, send me an email on that and we'll get you whatever you need.
With Flying Colors is about to post our live in two groups again.
Wow, well thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. We got Arnak. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining us today.
Go Donnie, Mississippi, no money, no money, no money.
Carol's back, hello. One potato, two potato. Oh, I thought that was Fred. I thought when you were saying that, that was Fred. Fred yesterday was leading us, give me a J. Mm-hmm. Give me a J.
Oh.
Give me an A, right?
Benny says, hi JJ, I got my 10,000 today. And
oh, wow.
It's good to know that there's still hope, even though I have about 20 employees, but I'm satisfied every little bit helps.
Yeah, good, good, good. Okay, so if you got the 10, that was probably EIDL, and you at least got the 10 because you had at least 10 employees. Gotcha. And let's see, we got a little update from somebody. Got my PPP. Yes. Let's see. Someone, I guess maybe I'm not. Mine's not scrolling. Someone said.
Let me change it to live chat.
Let's see. Thank you, Road Lion. Thank you so much. And Augie, hello. Alexander Adams. And oh wow, look at all this. It just all of a sudden filled right up. I wasn't live or something?
You were on top chat.
Oh, okay. Let's see, we got Valerie and Regal MG, Caesar and Diana. Greetings from New Jersey.
I'm at the bottom, so.
I'll work down, you work up.
Okay. Blair's here. Yes, everybody give thumbs up. We have 152 people already on.
Oh my gosh.
Only
wow.
12 thumbs up. If you could please give us thumbs up, we would appreciate it.
Look at Vicky. Thank you for being so freaking amazing. Love watching you. I appreciate you more than words can say, and love your snappy. Oh, you said that one.
Yeah.
See, it's different when you hear it and then you see it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Nancy H wishes her husband dressed like JJ. He's in construction and always looks like he's at work. I'm a very lucky lady because JJ is such a nice dresser, and so I always get to look at that every day.
Well, thank you. You are such a lady. You always done up. I've never seen Amanda. She just, like, before I even wake up, she comes in, gives me kisses all over my face, and she's already ready to go. And always up. Let's see, Kloop, Blair, Rusty. Hi, folks. Let's see. Oh, I don't know how to say it. Okay, you talked about that one. And Blair. Oh, Blair from Southern Oregon. Mm-hmm. So, Blair, we were in Oregon, was it in December?
Yeah.
And we flew into Portland. So I lived in Hood River for like 6 months when I was like 5 years old. And anyways, went to Oregon in the summer, and we stayed in Bend.
Bend, it was such a cute
Oh my
place.
gosh, yeah, Bend was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then then in December, we landed in Portland. We drove down to...
Was it Medford?
We drove all the way to the end of the state after
Yeah.
we were all the way done.
Yeah.
Medford, South Bend, not South Bend.
Roseburg.
Roseburg, and then it wasn't Bend again.
It
It was North Bend.
North Bend.
Yeah.
We went from one place down to the other.
Awesome people. You know what I loved about teaching the CPAs in Oregon is I didn't wear a tie. It was nice. I just,
Yeah, we went
wore a
to
dress shirt.
North Bend, Roseburg, Medford,
And then all the way back up to Portland. Yeah, and then Portland is a beautiful airport.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. And then we go back to, we go back to Oregon this year too?
I don't think so.
No?
If we do.
I think we do.
Okay, well, I'll have to look at that.
Okay. All right.
Tony Leon says, I've just never heard this, so I thought we'd pop it up there. He said, hey, Gigi.
Hey, Gordon Gecko.
Hey, JJ, I got my PPP loan approval for $8,000, but the monthly payment is only $455. Can I not just get the whole loan up front?
Yeah, so on that, if it is PPP, they do it over 18 months. And then whenever it's forgiven, then they recalibrate it. Blair, we will let you know. Yeah, we're going to be having on my other website, which I don't really want to go. That's a business website. It's like my client website. But anyways, we always list the tour dates. And so usually in early May, we start listing the dates of where we're going to be.
Take them off.
I don't think so. It was in the surgeon calendar. All right, so let's see. Albert. Let's see. Michael got approved, but still waiting for the bank to call back to confirm. All right, Michael. Well, I'd give them a holler and keep calling. And let's see.
Daniel, the CPA is here.
Daniel, thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. Already done a thumbs up by Jean Andre.
Maverick Construction. Hey, JJ, when will you be in Texas?
Ooh, yeah, you know what? Several times. We're going to be in Austin, but that's not till January. I'm scheduled to speak in Austin in early January. That's a ways away. And then we're supposed to be in Dallas. But anyways, I will let everybody know when we've kind of put out there where I'm going to be. I know we're going to be in Phoenix, and we're picking a spot to maybe have a place where we can just have a free seminar, so to speak. Let's see, we got Joe, Jennifer Martin, hello from a fellow exhausted tax professional in Orlando. You're doing such an amazing job. Thank you, Jennifer. You know, I need to get back at it because all of a sudden I'm staring May 1st in the you know, and we're looking at, you know, now we got May and June, and all of a sudden it's tax season all over again, and I am behind. So I hear you on that. Let's see, Kathleen. Let's see, Matt. Need to watch the QuickBooks video. Well, you know what, Matt, on that, I really didn't gear it towards the self-employed. So I guess I need to do one on the self-employed. And the reason for that is on the self-employed, we got some other questions, so I'll go through it when we get there, but it's such an easy calculation, as you probably know, on the amount of forgiveness. When we hit the email, we'll talk about what else can be done with the rest of it. So I'll do a quick one on the self-employment. I was supposed to go to bed last night. I told Amanda she was going to sleep, and she said, "Are you sure you're done?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Look, I have my jammies on. I'm not going to do anymore." Yes, Carol, I did a QuickBooks video literally for you. Check it out. You can't miss it. It's like this green neon QuickBooks wording.
Yeah, he stayed up late for you, Carol, in his jammy.
So I do the update, and then I do this video, and I'm up there talking about cash flow, and I got interrupted, and I had to turn it into 3 videos, and then I had my jammies on, and Amanda was reassured that I was done for the night. And then when I had to make that into 3 videos, I woke back up, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this QuickBooks video real quick. So yes, we have a QuickBooks video. Amanda always wakes up like an hour and a half before I do. But she has gotten where she doesn't scold me anymore.
I know.
You used to, because you were looking out for me.
That's right.
So all right, so let's see, Michael, and we talked about Blair. Let's see, yeah, Blair, we passed it. Do you do training? I would fly you all the way from, I would fly all the way from Florida. Client services, oh, I really appreciate that. I think we're gonna be in Florida.
We will be in Oregon, Blair. We will be in Oregon December 9th, 10th, and 11th. So there you go.
Yeah, we will be traveling from city to city. So we will put it up on the website as well. And who else we got here?
Thomas, the CPA, is here. Where is the JJ, the CPA YouTube with worksheets?
Oh, let's see. It's probably in a playlist, and I bet it's under forgiveness. That mouse doesn't go to this one. Let's see, playlist.
Guns N' Roses is here.
Guns N' Roses, I love it. Good to see you.
One of our favorite bands, by the way, as well.
And we've seen Guns
them.
4 Roses, as in the number 4.
Yeah.
And they were phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, application, PPP, the videos. I'm looking.
We're so glad that you guys are here. Make sure you are giving a thumbs up and that you are subscribed to the channel if you are here, or if this is your first time here.
I'm looking here for, is it Thomas the CPA?
Thomas the CPA.
Thomas the CPA, and let's see, well, I have the worksheets based on the worksheets simplified.
Thomas, also to answer your question, as it sits right now, we are on Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time, live on YouTube. I think our plan is just to do this as long as you guys want us to. So we are here.
Thomas, if you'll go to the playlist called PPP, just Paycheck Protection Program, in there you'll see the calculations. And then on the website, I've got, you probably saw, but I have the Excel spreadsheets, but now that was to calculate it. And then also on there, I have how to calculate it for the self-employed, which is based on 31. So check out the website. I think that'll dig you down. If not, email me so I can make sure you're able to watch those.
Guns N' Roses, we will for sure be in New York. So we will see.
Are we up in New York?
No, but we have reality people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Shows up in
Oh,
New York.
reality people, is that
Yeah.
what we're calling them now?
Yeah.
Reality people, as opposed to fake people?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see, Tampa, Florida, Houston, Let's see, do we already get this? Virginia Beach, Glenda, Sarah K, SIS, Hearts. Let's see, how do you do the hearts? Like this? No.
Yeah,
like this?
there you go.
More down?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not cool.
You are cool.
I am? Okay.
Yeah, you
All
are.
right, well, I
You're the
appreciate
coolest.
that. Let's see, Andre, I don't know if I already said this, but yeah, received our PPP. However, most of my staff does not want to return to work since they're making so much more collecting unemployment. I know I'm now contemplating just keeping the money as a loan. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. Got to get the daily dose of the coach, JJ the CPA. Thank you, Tony. Tony's the man. Let's see, we got John. Hi, if for the JJ Fix. All right, we got Chris. Found out that C-SPAN still exists. Yeah, you know they have like C-SPAN 1, 2, and 3. House voting now.
Deepa Patel's on. She said
Oh.
she would end up with withdrawals if we ever stopped these live shows.
Well, I really appreciate that. It means everything. Let's see. Thank you for all your help. Teresa T. from Salisaw. Hi from the CPA in Connecticut. Thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it. I love it. You know, you get CPAs and EAs and tax professionals on here. It means a lot. It just means that and maybe it just is a validation that my stuff's good. I mean, in the sense of like, it's just informative. It's being helpful.
Of course.
So anyways, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then let's see, Thomas A. Okay, so when you were saying all that, it's because it's Thomas A. de Brazili. I'm not even saying that.
Probably
No,
not.
it's not. There's
That's
no
why
I.
just said Thomas
Brizzy.
the CPA.
Thomas A. de Brizzi Jr. CPA. That is like a presidential name.
It is.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
That's like a leader of the pack. Self-employed PPP. What does the 25% have to be spent on? Rent and utilities only. So on that one, go to also to jjcpahelp.com, and on the forgiveness page, I have a list, and it's directly from the SBA guidelines that came out on the 14th. So I have I have the guidelines, and then I have the list that I just literally copied and pasted up. I do give full credit to the SBA, so you know the above's from the SBA. And it's some funky stuff, like gas in the car that's used by the sole proprietor for business is a utility. It does include rent. They use language like, renting a storage unit and things like that. So they go into some details on a few things. And then of course the obvious is, I tell you what I'm disappointed about is that I don't see anything in there where the self-employed's health insurance is covered. When they came out with those guidelines on the 14th, they also just kind of whacked anything that was on Schedule 1. I know Nancy and I were emailing back and forth talking about, talking about whether or not the health insurance self-employed was included, self-employed retirement, if it was an SEP, seemed like it would. And then on the 14th, the SBA came out and was like, nope, line 31 only. And a lot of sole proprietors, I mean, they agree. It's like, it's based on the net. It's not even fair because they do have to pay those other expenses. So at the end of the day, when you're looking at the 25% and the 75% actually doesn't apply. We've got a question in an email where they've kind of done the math on it, but you take that Schedule C, line 31, divided by 52, that'd be the amount, the line 31, of course, is what's used to base the dollar amount for the loan. But then when you're when you're trying to figure out the forgiveness, you take that same line 31 divided by 52 times 8, that's the automatic forgiveness amount. And I think someone did the math, it's like 73.8%. It's not quite 75%. So we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit. And then Julie Kelly, but I got the EIDL grant. So do I have to use EIDL in the 8-week also? Or can I wait till PPP and use that in 8 weeks and EIDL after that? Well, you know what? Actually, since you haven't gotten PPP, you can use EIDL right now. EIDL can be used for when you really look at like anything business related. So, and there's no time frame. It's not over 8 weeks. It's just here was money for your business. So if you haven't gotten PPP funds done, and I don't know about like paying off a credit card or paying off debt per se. I'm talking about paying for expenses for the business. So I'm not even saying it like, oh, to play a game. It's just an easy way to show that you used the EIDL and it was not used at the same time as PPP, as if you were able to use it before you got your PPP funds. And then you have the PPP that would be over the 8 weeks. Let's see, Ron Henry, Intuitive, we got 4 thumbs up. Now on to the ERCs, Chris Johnson. Yes, if people didn't get the PPP, let's see, Dan, Louisiana Dan here. I love that. That's from Forrest.
Move Up Mike had said, can you please go back to what you were saying about receiving $455 per month instead of the full lump sum of the PPP?
Okay, you got it. So basically, depending on when you got the proceeds, but it seems like everybody now, when they get the loan documents, because that's what the banks are giving you minute one, you have the loan documents, and in essence, they're saying, we don't know if anything's going to be forgiven, so you're signing off on the whole loan right now, and here's the interest rate, right, the 1%, and payments are deferred till this point, and here's your payments, and it needs to be paid off in 18 months from deferment. So it's 2 years, 6 months deferment, and then you have 18 months where the loans are being paid out. So that's why I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they were like, you know, this doesn't, the payments seem higher than I was expecting, and I had indicated, well, I think it's because the banks are now basing the payoff over 18 months, knowing loan would be deferred or loan payments deferred for 6 months. So here's the deal, okay? Here's the dealio. They're charging interest, and there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, it's a 1%er, but they being the bank, they're charging 1% from minute one. Now, whatever gets forgiven, any interest that goes along with that forgiven amount will be forgiven as well. But let's just say, for instance, you borrow $100K, and at the end of it, you owe 11. You know, however it all worked out, you didn't spend it, or you got a haircut at the end, or whatever, and you got 89,000 forgiven, and you owe 11. Well, the interest on that 11 started when the loan was dispersed, not when the forgiveness was determined. So on that 11K, there'll be interest that in essence is due on that from the date of disbursement till whenever you start making payments. And it's not an unfair thing, right? Because in that example, someone got $89,000 free money. So really at the end of the day, I think that's where the payments come in. And then when I talked with my bank, at least, they said, I don't know about like, could you pay it back now? Because I actually didn't ask of that. We have a question that's gonna be something to go over. But he did say, you know, yeah, when it's all said and done, if you just want to pay it back, you can. Now, I don't know if he meant immediately after the 8 weeks. I don't know why not. I mean, as soon as they figure out the portion that's not forgiven. But we do have a couple of questions on that one.
He said, thanks for the clarification.
All right, you bet. Who else we got?
So you got a lot of conversation.
Tony smashing.
Tina Beard's here.
All right, Tina. Love it. Fellow CPA, smashing the like button and ready for the fire to be lit. Love it. We got Benny and Tony Perez. Oh, goodness. Wow, look at this. I just talk and then I look at so many other comments. Thank you all so much for coming, showing up today. Let's see, I saw something about construction. Let's see, seems odd. Bank of America said it is to send my applications to SBA for approval. I thought the bank had the last say on that. Absolutely, Rusty. They are getting something confused as it relates to EIDL because you don't do any direct communication on the PPP. So somehow they're not on the same page with you. So get them on the same page. Garrett Jacobson. Let's see. As a self-employed, my PPP loan would be line 31 divided by 12, 2.5. But weekly payroll calc is divided by 52 times 8 for forgiveness. That means that payroll is just less than 75% of the loan. Will this cause forgiveness problems? No, and we're going to talk about that with an email coming up. And I don't think the email was from this individual because the email laid out pretty much the same thing. So we will get to that. Great question, Garrett.
Your friend Tony is on.
Tony.
And
Love it.
Jason from Darkwater Megs, I will email you, but I wanted to tell you that my 14-year-old son loved, my 14-year-old son loved his tooth. I gave it to him yesterday, so I will send you pictures.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Nick was quite enthralled by it. He's like, if I need to know something outside of taxes, I asked Nick. I was like, what's a black hole? And he was like, well, it's this. And then I can't remember what he told me, but it was totally what it was. Something that imploded. And he didn't give me the Star Trek answer either. He gave me like the real answer.
He gave you the real answer, that's right.
All right,
He's our Google.
Yes, we said hi to Daniel, fellow CPA. David, I put 0 down where that app, did I? I don't know on that one, David. I've just been telling people, just because I haven't had any other further direction, and based on probably what you'd call as hearsay, is that, if you're putting in on the EIDL, you have one owner, you put down one. I understand it's not quote unquote the employee, but based on what the SBA had said unofficially through somebody else, right, hearsay, was the same way that they indicated, no, for cost of goods sold, just put all your expenses. I don't know if it really any rhyme or reason, but I think you'd probably want to at least put one. So I think that, I guess what I'm trying to say, I don't know if the 0 caused you issues, but I am telling people to at least put the 1 if there's one owner.
Andrea says, thank you so much for being here for us. You and Amanda inspire me to be a better person.
Well, thank you.
And Jessica says, thank you so much. You have blessed me tremendously. My accountant told me I didn't need to do the PPP and tried to intimidate me. And then guess who's here?
Holy moly, who we got?
Clay,
what's
the
up?
Architect is here.
Clay the architect. I love it. Oh my gosh. Tried to talk her out of it. Out of the PP. Why?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must have maybe someone that fundamentally doesn't believe in
Government
something like that or something. I don't know. Well, I'm glad you got it. And if they're gonna continue to be making you feel not good about it, then you probably just need to go somewhere else. Maybe let them finish up 19 and then just go somewhere else. You don't need to be around that. People have their different opinions. Maverick Construction, hey JJ, you already had, this is how far behind I am. Let's see, we talked about.
We love you too, coaches.
All right, coaches, I love it. See, Gene said, everyone watch JJ's YouTube, the Coaches Edition. Things will be okay. I love it.
Brian Gray.
I wasn't sure about that one, Gene. Amanda wasn't here, and I shot it, and then I said, all right, I want you to watch this. Do I look like an idiot?
Nope, and I told him that we were putting it up.
We were putting it up. I was like, well, all right, well, JJ's got to be JJ.
Yeah.
We do kind of joke around that it's a different personality.
It is.
There's when I take the jacket off, so it's Joshua.
There's a Joshua and there's a JJ.
And then there's a JJ the CPA.
And then there's a JJ the CPA, yes. Brian
we gotta go, we're gonna have to go to the intuitive psychic therapy, Sabrina Lane.
Brian Graves from Pennsylvania is on. Brian is a CPA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we got a question here. Saeed, my PPP approved April 14th, funds now available. Will this be to cover 8 weeks after April 14th or to cover the 8 weeks after February 15th? Yeah, good question on that. It will be 8 weeks, 56 days starting from the day of disbursement. And then intuitive, self-employed or thousands a month in rent in the office alone. I'm going to lose my office in San Francisco. Could I get proof for the PPP? Let's see, self-employed or thousands dollars a month in rent in the office alone. Well, if I'm understanding your question, basically you're taking that 31 and then line 31 divided by 52 times 8. So in essence, that's just boom, it's forgiven, like forgiven. The rest of it can be used for rent. So in essence, it sounds like, I mean, if I'm understanding correctly, it sounds like you have a ton of rent. So probably all of your PPP is taken care of with that automatic calculation if you're a Schedule C, and then your rent, and then it'll depend on the bank, but the banks around here are indicating they do want a copy of the lease agreement and then the check copies to show that you paid the bank. Reason for the lease agreement is the law does require it be a lease that was in effect, you know, February 15th, so that they know that it's the same. Let's see, Joel Hancock. All right, so we have a single member LLC, taxes and S Corp, 2 employees law firm. I was just approved and received PPP with W-2 wages, boom. Oh, interesting, and a Schedule K-1 non-passive income. If I spend it right, will I have to pay it back? Well, that's an interesting one, Joel, because I did have none of my clients, but I have had people that have told me that the bank, you know, early on either wasn't fully aware, but they did put in application and included what you're talking about there, which is the K-1 income or the distributions, but it doesn't apply. I'm not tooting my own horn other than to say I knew it never applied. I said from the beginning it didn't apply. And the reason for that is not self-employed income. When you're an S Corp, the net income's not subject to self-employment tax. The K-1's not subject to self-employment tax. Therefore, it's not on equal footing with payroll, because payroll is subject to self-employment tax. What's self-employment tax? Social Security and Medicare. So down at the individual level, if you're self-employed, you don't have a separate entity, or you are a partnership and you can't pay yourself wages as a partner for whatever reason, but now what you have is a K-1, and if that K-1 is subject to self-employment tax or your guaranteed payments, just know this, right? Right, it's talking like this, just know this. When you take sole proprietor and you take partnership K-1 subject to self-employment tax, that's in this over here, and then you have S Corp over here. So when you're taking into account the self-employment earnings, partnership or sole proprietor, that net is subject to 15.3% tax, which is Social Security and Medicare. What is that? Well, put that over here for a second on a shelf, and let's go back over here. And when you're paying employees, or you're an employee and you're getting paid, 7.65% gets withheld, which is Social Security and Medicare. The employer, which may be you as well, matches the 7.65%. There's that magic number, 15.3%, right? So between the employee and the employer, 15.3% of wages is getting sent into the government. Now, there's Social Security limits, which I'm not going to confuse this matter by going into that, but there are Social Security limits. Now, let's go back over here to the S Corp. Let's go back over here to the partnership and the self-employment. Whatever that net is, it's subject to 15.3%. See, the self-employed and the partners that are subject to self-employment tax, they don't have anybody to match it, okay? So they're, in essence, still paying what they would as an employee, right? 7.65%, but that because they're the employer, they have to do the other 7.65%. So stay with me. Let's see, whose question is this? Okay, Joel. So stay with me, Joel. And I have a video you should watch that is something like no one should be a sole proprietor, and you're doing it perfect. You're doing it right. So this is a long story to tell you that you're in the right structure. It probably didn't help you on PPP, but it helped you for your entire career. So bear with me. So now you have Social Security and Medicare on self-employment earnings and partnership. That's why you can use those dollars just like wages, because both things, wages, self-employment income, that's a sole proprietor Schedule C, and your K-1 from a partnership subject to it, that'd be your box 14, box 4, okay? But both things are subject to Social Security and Medicare. That's why both things get to be included in the PPP calc. But now, boom, here comes an S Corp. It's the most beautiful setup you've ever seen in your life. I've made an entire career out of making sure the right clients were set up as an S Corp, and here's why. That net income, that non-passive income on the K-1, which I love it that you know that language, but that non-passive K-1, boom, 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 is not subject to the self-employment tax. So the benefit of the S Corp is you get to control how much you're going to pay in Social Security and Medicare taxes, because it will only be on the wages that you're paying yourself. If you have a partnership and you're actively involved in it, then that net income, you're just sitting there bare-bellied, okay? And you're just letting whatever the net income is on that partnership, if you're actively involved in it, be subject to self-employment tax. Same thing with a sole proprietorship. Whatever you net, subject to 15.3%. But if you have an S Corp, the net income after wages is not subject to that, so you get to control it. So here's the deal. You have a wonderful setup, so you shouldn't complain about it, and I'm not saying you are complaining about it. Don't find yourself complaining about it. Don't think that whatever you're set up, somebody did it incorrectly, because for a law practice, right? Yep. For the law practice, perfect, beautiful, and whoever's helping you with all that, excellent, because you had wages in there, you're doing everything perfect. But I'm just telling you this right now. This is a long way of telling you this. And I don't want to be the one that has to tell you this, but I'm just going to tell you it. When you go to forgiveness time, when you take into account calculating what it is that you borrowed on, it's the wages, but then if the K-1 got added on top of that, I don't see that portion actually results in forgiveness. So what you need to do, though, is get with your bank, because what I don't know is, did somebody get you grandfathered in, meaning the bank screwed up. Bank shouldn't have included it, okay? Because even in April 14th, when the SBA came out with their clarification, S Corp's not included. Only partnership K-1 subject to self-employment tax, specifically guaranteed payments from the guidelines. All I'm saying is this: you need to check with the bank, because that's going to be a portion that you're just going to have to pay back. That's my opinion, but figure it out from the bank, because what leads to forgiveness is what? Wages. Okay. Well, your wages need to be the same as what they were, and distributions don't count. So get ahead of that one, just so you're not surprised. Yes.
Michael Page has been patient, but he has asked his question, and we kind of skipped it a couple
okay.
times. So, what happens if I get EIDL and my business doesn't lose money this year? I was off 17 weeks last year, but I'm working almost every day this year to compensate for any potential losses. Also,
is it EIDL or ERC?
He said EIDL.
Okay.
Also, I'm a trucker leased onto a company. They automatically take out my expenses before I get any money. So how can I show that I use the money for expenses?
Check it out. It's even easier than that on the EIDL. Okay. Stephen, what's up? What's up? What's up? On the EIDL, you just get it. You use it for business purposes. You're done. Don't have to have losses. Can be used for anything you want. Just as long as it's something related to business, right? So you're good, clean, no worries there, super easy. The PPP has all of these issues related to it, not the EIDL. So you should be good there.
Kenda's on.
Kenda, what's going on? It's great to see you. Thank you for coming on. And let's see, what else? What do we hear? I used a Mac and I got the advance yesterday. Did you get a template? Did you get the template email from the SBA? Let's see. Yes. Let's see. Move It Up Mike. Is Move It Up Mike, though, just to be sure, is Mike is the CPA? The CPA? Simi Valley?
That I don't know.
We'll see. Because I am going to go over this. There's a couple of things that we got. Let's see. Maybe this wasn't for me. Oh, never mind. Kathleen and them are talking to each other. That doesn't have anything to do with me. Let's see. April 7th, I reapplied anyway. I don't know if that's for me or not.
No, Move It Up Mike is not the CPA.
Let's see, where is the JJ the CPA YouTube with work? Oh gosh, I'm just way behind.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Just come down to the bottom.
Okay, just go to the bottom. Just come to the light. Just move to the light.
Oh, we got another barbecue business on
What?
here. The American Dream Barbecue.
Oh, wow.
That means
Well, there you go.
got
3.
coaches on here.
Backyard.
And now the American Dream
American
Barbecue.
Dream. Where are you at, American Dream? Where are you at? Okay, so Move It Up Mike. Tell me again, I've lost what you commented on before. Will you mind popping that back in there for me?
What did you need from him?
I don't know, he said something and I was trying to figure it out, but I didn't know if he was talking to me.
No, no, he was.
Let's see, will SBA verify what we spent the EIDL the right way, documentation, bank statements? Great question, Brian. I mean, it seems like the EIDL is just a, you know, it's like a unicorn once you get it. Like, who knows?
Steven said, must be, we can all cook, but we can't do the books.
I love it. So, I don't think that they're...
Oklahoma.
Tecumseh, I love it.
They're a competition team. No application for the barbecue submitted.
Oh, gotcha. So, Brian, on that, here's what I think we should do is, you know, hey, here's some, I got this money, here were some expenses, but you know, the expenses are just business expenses. So I think the main thing is that it went into a business account. When I did the QuickBooks video, I did set up an account for EIDL, so I think the way we account for it is a negative expense on the tax return at year end. And I mean, other than just don't want the money to go to their pocket, or it went right in the account and 5 seconds later right to the individual's pocket. So I don't think we have anything to do there. We'll see. All right, so Nancy H. Caroline, going to the light. Michael, let's see. Oh, Crash and Burn 5150. I'm assuming you are a Hagar fan. I'm assuming. Let me see. Michael Lowe, Sierra Wright. I got approved for the EIDL loan, signed documents, but no advance. Oh, I've not received anything yet. If I receive the loan, do they still owe me the advance? You know, I would bring that up to them. And at the end of the day, what I would do is go and apply for the advance when it comes out, because I do think these are two separate and distinct activities. The 10 is basically, here you go, it's yours, you don't need to pay it back, and then you go and get the loan on top of that. How was that loan process, by the way? Was it fair? Sierra Wright, was that loan process, you're talking about the SBA Express 25K, was it easy? How did the bank work with you on that? Was it pretty straightforward? And if you don't want to put it in the comments, maybe email us. Thank you, Garrett. I really appreciate that. Very, very, very much. Let's see. Wayne, can self-employed draw unemployment and receive PPP money? Both. I'll tell you, Wayne, that's the big question mark we've got. My understanding is PPP is to replace the paycheck. So getting unemployment seems like it could be a double dip. What I've encouraged everybody to do is go apply. Go on there, do the PUA. If they're gonna ask you about it, they're gonna ask you about it, and then just answer it. If you feel like that your paychecks is giving you enough, then don't do the POA. If you're when I say paychecks, your PPP, if it didn't really provide much, so I don't know, I think it's a state by state issue, even though it shouldn't be, because POA is federal. But I don't really have a great answer for you on that, other than it seems like it would be a double dip, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. What else? Who am I missing? What other quick questions we got?
Let's see. Clay the architect said, hadn't thought about EIDL, so now after PP 1.0, should I do it?
I'm sorry, I just read the most ridiculous comment from Frank talking about his banker.
Yeah,
not Frank
I saw
didn't.
that too.
Frank's not ridiculous. His banker is. I'm sorry. Read that again.
Clay said,
Clay.
haven't thought about EIDL, so now after PP 1.0, should I do it?
Boom. Yes. Because, I had a lot of videos saying, should you do EIDL? Should you do PPP? But see, that was all 1.0. The thing is that if you get the EIDL, just use it for things other than what the PPP's for. So as I see it now, we have no limitations, because if you remember, the application that we all completed indicated, did you get an EIDL between January 31st and April 3rd? Yes, add it in there. And it was so at the end, in essence, it would affect your forgiveness, okay? And I don't mean this like, well, I don't see any technicalities here, so we're gonna go ahead and take advantage of the situation. What I'm telling you is that if you have the financial need for it, you have other expenses that need to get paid, and you go and apply for the EIDL, but you're doing it now post PPP, as long as you show it as going towards separate activities, separate expenses, then I see that it's good to go. I do know this, I'm gonna be paying close attention that once that thing's back up in line, you know, has the SBA come out with anything saying that we should understand something differently there. But I will tell you this, I think you should definitely go for it. Now, Frank is saying here, Frank Hahn.
I want to say hi to Card Shop Reality real
Card
quickly
Shop
because
Reality.
they got here, and he's probably really happy that they got here, and then JJ did one of his impressions. Right. So.
I love it. Let's see, still learning. Do we see still learning's question?
No.
Still
they just asked it again. Down at the bottom.
Okay. So Frank, just do me this favor. Go to, and if you've not been to my website, there's no booby traps. You don't enter in an email address, and then I send you emails for the rest of your life trying you to go to some secret seminar. But go to jjthecpahelp.com, go to the forgiveness page, and down below, it's not even per JJ. Down below, you're going to see SBA guidelines, SBA FAQs, and then SBA, I think, guidelines again. But on the 3rd, the 6th, and the 14th. Print those out or save the PDFs. Very clearly states in there what can be used for the forgiveness. So the one thing I want to know is, Frank, please tell me, was your PPP based on your sole proprietorship, meaning Schedule C, or was it based on wages? I think I can guess, but tell me for sure. Was it based on wages, or was it based on your self-employment income? Okay, still learning. What's still learning's question?
Well, I have to say this real quick. Andy D said that he is taking his wife on a date tonight, but she had one requirement. You want to know what that was? No JJ the CPAs.
Well, you know what? I can't compete with that, and that's okay. That's probably a good thing.
Still learning is an EIDL. What is the formula for the actual loan portion of the EIDL? Heard to pay 4 months of operating costs for the app. Can't tell how much they determine your maximum loan amount.
Yeah, so right now, you know what? I'm going to double check what I'm telling you because I want to make sure that it's not somehow come on live and snuck up behind us. So
I want to, while he is doing that, welcome everybody. We have 288 people watching tonight. If you could please give some thumbs up, we would greatly appreciate that. And also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so then you are notified every time that JJ goes live.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And we've got nearly 300 people. Thank you everybody that's been on and back and checking in. Makes my day. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Bees Landscaping. We haven't heard from Bees
Oh my gosh, Bees Landscaping was like early in, like one of the first people that ever watched my YouTube channel going back years.
We tried to find it.
Did we send Bees Landscaping?
And then we found it.
We sent him something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what we sent Bees Landscaping.
But that was like a year ago.
Hey, we love you, Bees Landscaping. Thank you so much. Like literally had to be first supporter.
Yeah, he
first
would comment
supporter
on every single one of JJ's videos. That's back when we would have like 1 or 2 comments, and Bees Landscaping was every day.
Thank you, Bees Landscaping. I really, really, really appreciate it.
I just got excited the first time I saw that.
So here's the thing on the EIDL, I just wanted to double check. You can't apply for it right now. So what I want you to know is that it is technically a whole new ball game when we go back and apply again. So all we know is what we did know, which was this. It was basically 1,000 an employee. Everything you're saying that it came into play on the advance, right? That was before they decided to go with 1,000 an employee, and that was because they were running out of money. Now, if you're talking about on the 25,000 SBA Express, what I want you to do is go to SBA.com, SBA.gov, and then you'll see funding options. You'll see a little cartoon that says SBA Express. You're gonna click on it because there's like a 12-page PDF. So if you're going for that one, go to the PDF. It'll tell you everything that you need to get done there, and that's what it's based on. But if you're talking about that advanced, the EIDL, like money in and out, like boom, boom, you're supposed to get money. They're out of money now. It's getting another $10 billion that they're voting on now or did just approve. So be ready. I mean, like be ready like you're getting ready to buy concert tickets to the Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Pat Benatar,
that we are praying that they don't
yeah,
cancel. Or
we're I'm 10 rows back. Kansas City.
I'm gonna be depressed. I'm gonna go into a depression if so.
Boom, Kansas City at Royal Stadium.
Yeah.
And we decided to go there because we could get closer than if we went to Dallas.
Yep.
And they better not cancel it because Motley Crue is on the bucket list. We've seen Def Leppard. We've seen Poison. You actually got to shake like hands with Brett.
I sure did.
And we've seen Pat.
Yep.
We saw Pat when Pat still had the older guy that was on the piano, the keyboards before he passed away.
Yep.
And we've seen Def Leppard. Did I already say that?
And we've seen Def Leppard.
Yeah. So, anyways, got to see Crue. And we were supposed to go see Vince Neil and Steven Adler,
but they
had to cancel. And we were supposed to go see Duran Duran. See, I'm all over the place. Motley Crue, Duran Duran, little.
And they better not cancel Maroon 5 either, because I've been wanting to see Maroon 5 forever.
Okay, so.
That was our little commercial break.
There you go. All right, so Frank, did Frank tell us? Please let Frank have told us. Frank, hopefully he didn't just pop on and then pop right off. Maroon 5, S Corp, I don't see Frank. All right, well, Frank must have already popped off.
Yeah, he never commented.
Okay.
I was watching.
Okay. Oh, okay, wait a minute. But Frank says, my business is set up as sole proprietorship. I calculated through wages of my employees $100K for myself. Oh, okay. So you got both. So I do have a video talking about that. Go to the forgiveness page, but go and look, because here's the deal. You actually fall under two categories. So if you have somebody that's a sole proprietor and they have wages, so they filed a Schedule C and they had wages, right? So it states clearly in the SBA guidelines. Frank, I hope you are still on, because I'm gonna love it that you're just gonna hand this right to your banker. And I love bankers. Like, I'm not kidding around. Like, 3 of my best friends are bankers. Okay, good. 3 of my best friends are bankers, like from early on. I've got one banker. Over the years, we've referred so much money back and forth, but he's got his head on his shoulders. And part of the reason he has his head on his shoulders is that I texted him before this became law and said, hey, what are you doing with the PPP? He's like, what's PPP? I said, you're not down with PPP? He said, yeah, you know me, I'm down with PPP. What is PPP? So Jason and I, and another Jason, right? So we've been communicating with each other, right? So you have bankers that are communicating with CPAs and attorneys and things to that effect. So Frank, here's the deal. Please go to my website. There is no booby trap there. There's the SBA guidelines, the ones on April 14th, and there's a specific area that I think takes up 2 to 3 questions that talks about your exact scenario, which is you have a self-employed and you have employees. So you're taking it and you kind of almost, you have to think of it as like you have 2 loans, okay? So what you do is you go, well, here was your amount, okay, which was the 100K, okay, which was divided by 12 times 2.5, right? So take that dollar amount, then take whatever your monthly wages were times the 2.5 monthly wages and the benefits, right? So now you have 2 calculations, and that's what it says in the guidelines. And then I'm telling you right now, with the calculation on the wages, it's just like anything else, okay? And then on the calculation of the self-employed, you'll see on that website of mine as well. And in those guidelines, it tells you what expenses count for the self-employment portion and then what expenses count for the employer section. So you're gonna take advantage of both, but let me tell you this right now. This isn't even per JJ. I've given it to you. You can use the other SBA guidelines. And in fact, I even put the law in there for you, like a picture of it. So you might just, you know what, just send that page to your banker and just say, you're welcome, okay? Because it clearly states it's rent and utilities, and then check this out. It doesn't even include payroll taxes, okay? Now it includes the gross wages to the employee, okay? Because there was a handful of banks for 36 hours from April 2nd to April 3rd thought that it was only gonna be the net amount of payroll to the employees. No, it's the gross. But what I'm telling you is it's not the payroll taxes as in the employer payroll taxes. That was thought to be included. It absolutely isn't. So bless your banker's heart. They're completely off base. You might just say, hey, here you go, and see what they come up with. But They are, what's in School of Rock? You've seen School of Rock. I ask you this all the time. You've seen School of Rock.
I have.
And then the principal's asking Mr. Schneebly, which is really not Mr.
Yeah.
Schneebly. And he's like, oh, I think that she's on crack. I think that's your banker. Like, oh, think your banker might be on crack. Now, that's terrible to say because we don't know who's watching. People might, be offensive, take that offensive. But here's the deal. If Jack Black can have fun with it, I figure JJ the CPA can. What's next here? Bee's Knees. Bee's Landscaping, big time. Still excited. Corey Booth. Frank, hopefully that helps. I know that it does. Larissa. Let's see. Oh, someone's reminding everybody to do some. Oh, good. We got 131 thumbs up. Loving it. Thank you so much. Lewis and Ruth and Paul. Thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Stephen Downing, JJ. She's working hard for you on that promotion. I love it. Let's see. Steve,
Card
Carol.
Shop Reality's here until the NFL draft. I don't know that JJ knows what's going on because he's been working all day. The NFL's going to do their draft tonight and be the first time they're ever going to do a virtual draft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they've got cameras like in all these kids' houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and they're hoping it all goes well, but this will be the first time that's ever been done. So.
Gotcha. Well, and I don't know if it's, Cooper's going to get drafted.
He is. Coop's going to get drafted.
My son's going to get drafted in the MLB. Like, it just is,
It's just
right? I know parents are like, always say that they're going to do that. But, I mean, I knew it when the kid came out of the womb. He was 11 pounds. And, OU and Dodgers, were there at the nursery, just wanting to check in.
Yep.
And he asked for the car keys on the way home from the hospital.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Anyways, long story short is, it seems like, though, nowadays, now I don't know on the NFL, but on the MLB, it's like, if you're a number one, right, you're there, but then you go a few rounds down and you're really just at home. It seems like it.
Yeah.
So NFL's maybe just, I don't know, I don't want to say they're catching up, but the NFL's going to get a little bit more resemble the MLB maybe.
We have a question from a CPA. Jared, he said, Minnesota CPA here, new listener.
Love it. Thank you, Jared.
Hope you are subscribed to Jared.
Yes.
And if the banker filed for the loan without line 31 of Schedule C and only for employees, can we go back and apply for more than that?
You know what? I do it in that circumstance. I would do it because it is really two separate loans. I know that there's a few that want to go back and maybe do their reapplication or reapply because they didn't include the K-1 from the partnership in the original application of the partnership. That'd be, guaranteed payments in essence, but it was because no one told us, or I don't have clients that have guaranteed payments. All my clients that are actively involved in their business are S-Corps, but that's beside the point. On this, what I would do is have that client put in application, but just do it now as a sole proprietor. I mean, maybe they marked it as sole proprietor before. Mark it as sole proprietor. If they did the application before, if they have employees, they probably did it under the ID number that is used with the employees. So have them maybe go ahead and do it as the Social Security number. It needs to be line 31. Someone brought up a great point. So hopefully that helps. Thank you for listening, tuning in. And hey, my email is jj@jjthecpahelp.com. Let me know what comes of that. I'd just be curious of that. And then we've got Peter. Hi, I found Schedule CEZ in item 13. Can I divide that by 12? I'd say yes, but with banks, I'm just telling you right now, they're going to be in the middle of a storm. Okay, just force it to be a Schedule C, not an EZ, not a CEZ. Forget it. Okay, because you're going to hand that to a banker. Okay, and they're like, right? Like they're going to be a computer that just shuts down. They're not going to know what to do. Because they're going to be like, there's no line 31, there's no line 31. How? There's no line 31, what are we going to do? And then everything melts down and then your application doesn't make it through. Do yourself a favor, because in most softwares you just say suppress schedule CEZ. If you've done it with some software, there's probably somewhere that says that. Here's how you don't have a CEZ, is you have some expense in there, okay? Put something in there, right? A $1 expense in there, something, right? Force it. I'm telling you right now, because as fast as this goes, there's going to be someone and they're going to be going right here and they're going to go like, well, I don't know what this is, but it's a line 32 next. And then you just got thrown in the reject file. So you would think, and under normal circumstances, if we weren't under such a race, tornado, you know, mama's coming with a wooden spoon, you better run set of circumstances, then I'd say, yeah, you could probably get away with it because you can explain it to them. So do yourself a favor and get that. Let's see, Larry Pittman, Serena, boom. After Corona, we need a JJ party and okay for all. I tell you this right now.
I told Clay, that's from Clay, I told him in chat we were having a big pool party.
Big pool party. It would be virtual pool party. I better start the self-tanning now.
Yeah, I did
Self-tanning now.
order us some new ones, so it is coming.
Some self-tanning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I use the wipes.
Well, I ordered us something fancy.
Oh, okay.
You can never surprise.
Like a home spray tan?
Well, we're not that fancy.
So last August, and we were planning on doing it this August, but I don't know if it'll come to fruition. Anyways, I hosted a symposium, an accounting symposium. It was all online. Had some great friends, Katie, Juan, Jose, and Justin McAuliffe, J Mac, Amanda, and myself. And we went live all day, the night before as well. And we were just doing content and accounting and social media and how you do, how do you build a niche, and on and on and on and on. This is a long story. And now I'll just tell you why I'm telling you the story, is that everybody came and stayed at my house.
Yeah.
And it was freaking awesome. It was like, anybody here old enough to know MTV Real World, which was like the first original reality show?
Yeah.
Right? It was accounting Real World.
Yeah, it was.
It was JJ World. JJ the Real World.
Yep.
No, that's what it's called. MTV The Real World. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, I'm down, Clay. Let's do it. Okay, Serena. Let's see. I'm at Peter, so how far behind am I? Let's see. AWS Corp employee W2. I get owner draws. Didn't file 2019. Can I go back and cash draws? You know, on the S Corp, they won't do it unless your bank's like completely off their rocker, but then it won't get approved. I've got a client right now that's trying to do the same thing, and I'm just like, dude, it's not going to work. I mean, you can take it to them, but the banks shouldn't allow it. And the reason why is that K1 and those draws are not subject to self-employment tax. Let's see, Bruce just got turned down. Let's see, what did Bruce say?
Just turned down to certify for PPP with PayPal because they said my credit score of 739 was not good enough.
What? That can't even be right, because it's not supposed to be based on credit, like, at all. Like, period, the end. I don't know what you can do because I don't even know who you call it PayPal, but I'm telling you this right now, the law indicates clearly they are not to look at credit elsewhere. It literally says that. It instructs the banks. Do not yeah, do not check credit. And then the other thing is that it indicates that it is absolutely, let's see, with flying colors, boom, pass. Thank goodness. Now I do want to make sure that there weren't any changes. I doubt there was, but last time there was a couple of little sneaky changes on the backside, so I'll be looking at that ASAP after it's signed into law. But on the PayPal thing, it even says in the law, and then on the 14th, on the 8th and on the 14th, the SBA came and said, "Hey, Mary," said, "Hey, banks, you can just take you can take your business, your customer's word for it. There's no risk to you. These things are guaranteed." So minorly concerning. Thank you for letting us know. That's total crap. And by the way, I don't know what your credit score is, but I'm sure it was good enough. there must be now trying to qualify themselves. And what they're going to do is get themselves in a big fat lawsuit. So what I'd like you to do is hurry and go find another bank, local. We're going to talk about it here in a few, but keep all that information, because when PayPal gets a lawsuit and they're doing a class action, I hate to be this way, but you want to be in on it, because that's total crap. It's not how it's supposed to work, period. The end. Unless you applied for something that PayPal pretended was PPP, which is even worse. So hurry and get another bank right away. All right, let's see. Andre, thank you. If I'm saying your name right, I hope I am. Rock on, Bees Landscaping. Love it. Let's see, FX, Sarah K, Carol. So the 75% does not apply to the self-employed. Correct, that's right, Carol. It is warm in here.
Oh, good.
I'm just spitting out all kinds of hot air here. Carol, on that, you take the Schedule C, divide that line 31 by 52 times 8. That's what the SBA came out with on the 14th. But here's the beautiful part for the self-employed is it's just forgiven. You don't have to prove anything. It's just done, forgiven. Then the rest has to go, on the qualified expenses. So Carol, you probably already have, but go to jjcpahelp.com, go to the forgiveness page. I've got a list there that's straight from the SBA, not my interpretation, literally straight from the SBA on what other things then qualify above and beyond your 850 seconds amount of the loan. Okay, let's see. We said hi to Mary and Sarah K. Wow, Sarah K, I'm sorry that they did that. I do know this because, we kept getting word that people on the EIDL were saying that their credit got checked, and then I can't remember who it was, and they said, well, they're just pinging your credit in a way to like verify who you are, so to speak. Make sure that it doesn't come back and you have also federal issues. So that could be part of the reason is that, if you defaulted on, SBA loans or federally backed loans. So I think that's why that's being done. Now, I'm a little bit surprised to hear that PayPal came back and made an insulting comment to our good friend. So I guess be on the lookout. People have been telling her doing PayPal, and I've been saying over and over again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should do it or not. I can't be the one to pick the bank. I've had people say, should I leave Chase? Should I go somewhere else? And it's like, I don't know, because, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And what I don't want it to be is someone to say, well, JJ, you told me to go to another bank. I went to another bank, then I didn't get the loan. Not that anybody sue me, but I don't, I grew up in a home growing up that I don't like people upset with me, okay? I like everybody happy.
Yeah. And Heather says that she's going to be working like JJ tonight to get on this PPP 2.0.
Boom, love it.
All right.
Is that the Heather? Is that Heather that we talked to earlier?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Quite exciting news. We have nailed down, I'm going to just throw it out there. We have nailed down our first contestant. Not contestant. That's a dumb way to say that.
Our first
I don't know, our first set of friends that are going to be on the reality show. And they are out of Massachusetts. So we are going to be going to see Clay.
Oh, Clay the architect?
Yeah, but it's not Clay. Clay's not the friend of ours that's going to be on the reality show. Okay. It's another business that's out of Massachusetts.
This is breaking news for me.
Oh, you didn't know?
You didn't.
I came out and told you when I was done with the interview. You helped me record it.
I thought they were in Florida. They're in Massachusetts? Oh.
Well, will you look? I thought they were in
Massachusetts. I got excited because
they're in
to go to Florida.
Well, we're going to Florida for other reasons.
Yes.
All right, so remember Puck. Oh my gosh, yeah, Puck. Hey JJ, thanks for all the help. Can I apply for more than one lender? How does that work when they start submitting? Steve, I wouldn't, because I think where you totally will jack yourself up on that one is that, when it goes into SBA, they're going to be like, oh, fraud, and they're going to yank one or both or flag it, and then you're totally SOL, as my stepdad would say. And so don't. What I have been saying in my videos is this: if you're at a bank, so We have some people here that they applied with a first bank. And if you haven't gotten anywhere with that first bank, okay, and they've not communicated back with you, well, you didn't authorize them to submit it. Now, you don't know if you're in line or not. So this is very dangerous for me to say it, but it's almost like, well, you didn't tell them to submit it, but what if they happen to submit it? But what I'm saying is go find another bank, get everything set up, get all the information to them, get reassurances from that bank. Are you good to go? And then if you feel confident they're going to be able to submit it and get you the money, then like big time, get a hold of the prior bank to say, hey, pull me out of line. But you don't want to pull out of this line before you know that this person's literally doing it. We need to get to the emails because it's basically, there's going to be, I think it was only 100, there's going to be 100 banks only qualifying for that 60 billion. So what the deal is you need to get with one of those banks because that's where you're going to help yourself having that funding. Yes.
Curtis, the CPAs.
Curtis, the CPA.
Thanks for everything, JJ. PPP funded Monday.
Oh, nice.
I called the SBA today to inquire about the EIDL that I submitted on 4/1, and while I was on the phone with them, I checked my bank to find a $10,000 deposit.
Oh, nice, nice. Let me ask you this, since you just mentioned it. When you applied, did you give them your account number? Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Well, I helped a client. He came over to the house and he needed help. So I helped him do it. And, but it was like 7 in the morning.
Right.
So I hadn't done it. I didn't do another one, but yeah, of course. Yeah. Give him the account number. Cause I kept hearing about direct deposits. I'm like, how do they know?
Right.
But that's cause I didn't stop to think. Let's see, dang it. Someone had a question here. Oh, what if line 31's over 100K? Then you put 100K divided by 12, that's your monthly times 2.5. So you do put the max there. Yes, congrats, Curtis. Let's see.
You wanted to get to emails?
Yeah, I think so. Russell McDonald, my credit got checked for an EIDL, JJ. What? That's Russell. The
What's up,
Russell. Go, hey, listen, y'all need to,
Tradmore.
yeah, you read my mind there. Tradmore, okay? You need to, Russell McDonald is like a premier in the banking industry, but he's not working at a bank because he's the man. He's got his own deal here in the mortgage industry, but you need to follow him on LinkedIn, on Instagram. He's on TikTok providing the same info. He's a
TikToker.
He's a TikToker, but he's like, what are you trying to say? Like when the professionals, like his stuff's for real.
Yeah.
Like his stuff's legit on
he's-
TikTok.
Yeah, he's providing real info.
Because your son follows somebody on TikTok, but it's not
Right.
not only fun and game videos.
Right.
It's like informational.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's say you don't like TikTok, you don't get on Instagram, check him out on LinkedIn, also Facebook, but he also has a YouTube page.
Yep.
And he's having some videos in there. But the one thing about Russell McDonald, is he has a podcast that I've been on.
Yep.
He's a huge supporter of us. He's bought your book, my book, read them, left nice reviews.
Yep.
But I'm telling you right now, he is like, he didn't know the coronavirus was coming, but he knew there was something coming.
Yeah.
He knew there was obviously you can't predict the coronavirus, but he knew that we were heading towards recession. He was pointing things out that made it simple. Anyways, Russell, thanks for being on. Love you, buddy. Okay, let's see. Nancy H. JJ, am I considered self-employed if I have an LLC partnership? Remember, no employees, just 1099s. And I do have a dollar amount in box 14 on K1, and I did get PPP. Yes. So, it's kind of a weird deal because you can get a partnership K1, and if you're not actively involved, then it's not subject to self-employment tax, so it's a box 1 only. If you're actively involved, then you have a box 14 subject to self-employment tax, so then you are considered self-employed. And that's down at the individual level because that dollar amount's gonna be subject to the self-employment tax. So you getting PPP money based on that, you're good to go. Now, what came out on the 14th that people wanna do when they're going to PPP2 is that if you have those circumstances that Nancy is describing, the SBA came out again on the 14th excuse me, and indicated that you would include that and apply for it up at the partnership level is where you would want to do that. But Nancy, you already got yours. I'm glad. Did you get the money? Did you actually get the money? Let's see, Card Shop. Square sent me an email today. They're taking pre-apps for PPP2. Yeah, I hope they come through. You know, everybody the other day was talking about PayPal, and then I'm kind of gotten a little concerned that someone said that they came back. So, listen, if you don't have a banking relationship, right? I mean, I don't know why those places aren't going to be able to do it, so you can get an account set up there. It's just I just don't know.
I don't know either. Nancy did say yes.
Oh, awesome. I don't know if maybe I knew that, but I'm glad, Nancy.
Yeah.
You've worked hard. Let's see, Emmanuel, what if Schedule C line 31 is negative? Dang it, you won't get any PPP money unless you have wages for other employees. So what you want to do is go for the EIDL, watch it like a hawk. You go to sba.gov. It'll have, unless they change it, you know, tomorrow, but there's a strip across the top, yellow says COVID-19 disaster loan, click on it, boom, apply. And you better apply like you are getting ready to buy tickets to Vanilla Ice and Salt and Pepper, like we went and saw a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Down in Thackerville, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Boom. Yeah, and Vanilla Ice was the headliner.
Yep.
Not Salt and Pepper. And he was awesome. He was such a generous guy.
Yeah.
With his time, he was just the coolest dude ever.
Yeah. Carol just said that Cabbage is active. For those people who are using Cabbage, they're active.
Okay. Let's see.
FX Acrylics is
let's
here,
see.
and they're from Oklahoma.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much for being on. Let's see. Gobbinder Kang, you can date 2 banks, but you got to commit to one of them on the application. I think that's what Tina and I think. I think that Tina Beard, CPA, she was the other day saying, hey, we need to let people don't do that. And the reason why is you're going to get snagged, I think. All right, so Steve, let's see. Oh, I guess, can I apply more than one lender? Okay, I already answered that. Okay, Richard Jude, Arbor CPA, love it. Thank you so much for being on. Oh, great. Here we go. So spoke with you Sunday, dental practice, S Corp. Boom. That's right. He was very complimentary. Very, very complimentary. Thank you so much. Great. Jelinski. Yeah, WOR. Other clients, you know why banks are stating they need more data, payroll costs submitted, 941s, any ideas, denied PPP. Yeah. Well, you know, this is the thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess it'll be too late once it happens. So here's what I was doing is, you know, I was just talking with the banks locally, and you got to remember, we just, you know, we meet down at the local saloon, general store, we just hitch up our horses. So there's only a few bankers to get to know and communicate with here. Say it again? At the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, that's where we put our horses out.
Yeah, yeah, with some, what is it, the pork rinds? Yeah, I don't eat pork rinds.
They have some good ones there.
Yeah, I don't eat pork rinds. Anyways, with that being said, what I came up with the banks locally is that it just seemed like they were going to want financials for 19. They were going to want W-2s and W-3. They were going to want the 941s. And then some of them wanted them for calendar year. Some of them wanted them for the last 12 months. So I actually came up with, for each client, just because we were ready to rock, we had 2 calculations for every client. Here's if it's the last 12 months. Here's if it's based on 19. Here's 5 quarters worth of 941s. We got with the payroll company at the end of March and said, hey, April 1, our clients, though we need to pay extra, but we need those 941s. We had them all together. But when you read on the 14th, the SBA, I'm curious of your opinion of it, but on my website, jjthecpahelp.com, which you're aware because you were very gracious in your compliments, so I really appreciate that. You know, it was awesome, made my week. But with that being said, in the SBA guidance on the 14th, I don't see any mention in there, you can double check me on that, about W-2, W-3, it's just 941. And I felt like the guidelines on the 14th were a strong message to the banks. Like, listen, let's simplify this thing. Sole proprietor, Schedule C, line 31, divided by 12 times 2.5. We're done, ladies and gentlemen. And so I think everybody needs to be prepared for that. So if someone got denied for not having that, they need more data, payroll costs submitted 941s, W3 and ID is denied, yeah. So hopefully that bank is, well, I don't know. I mean, I know that there's some people I've gotten to know in the Northeast, and I just said maybe you need to go to a smaller bank on the next go around.
Right.
So, okay, let's see. Thank you again, Richard. I will tell you this though, okay? So we have taught to 2 large CPA firms. We were up in Fishkill, New York.
Yep.
And then in like straight up New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Like few blocks from Grand Central Station.
Try it.
Talking to a big old CPA firm. They up and down the East Coast, which was phenomenal. And then we filled in for Santa Claus, that's what they call them.
Yep.
In New Jersey, we got to speak to the New Jersey Society of CPAs.
Yep.
And I will tell you this right now, okay? You would think, okay, you get a CPA coming, you know, I'm a West Coaster, born in California, grew up in Seattle, went to school in Texas, started my career in Dallas, and then I've been in Oklahoma City, you know, going on 24 years, right? So you would think this, right? You have me show up in the Northeast, I'd get eaten up, right? Just in terms of, you know, to me, like, you're talking Gordon Gekko, let's go, you better know your stuff, boom. Nicest people ever. Not that I was expecting him to be rude.
So nice.
Right? Not that I was expecting him to be rude. But you know, CPAs have we have a stereotype.
Right.
Right? We have a stereotype. I don't know what that stereotype is. I'm not in it. But I will say this. When I was in other states that I thought would be the friendliest ever, they weren't.
They were not. That is right.
They weren't. I don't know if it was just because I showed up wearing a jacket like this and they were like, who are you? But when we started to where I would dress the way I think people would feel the crowd would feel the most comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think 2 or 2, I did a good job with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just telling you, like in New Jersey, like I was a little nervous when we went to Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, just in the sense of like, I better know my crap.
Right.
Even though I do.
Yeah.
And especially the first crowd that we were at, at the New Jersey Society, which is new, beautiful offices.
Right.
Phenomenal. And by the way, where did we eat? We ate at that place, and it was a sandwich, and it was chicken fingers in one sandwich.
I don't know, but
chicken
they were
fingers,
featured,
fries,
their mac and
mozzarella
cheese,
sticks
their mac and
in the
cheese
sandwich.
bites were featured on Food Network.
Yeah. Car Park, something.
Something like that, but it was like it was a cool little sandwich shop.
All right, enough on that. Here we go. All I'm saying is, thank you so much, Richard. I really, really appreciate it, and I have an affinity. I just really appreciate our CPAs everywhere, but I really like the ones in the Northeast.
Yeah.
And I like the ones in Florida and Texas. We haven't, you know, the states that we've had where we're like, man, they weren't that friendly. No, they're not on.
They are not. It really
They're not
is
on.
surprising.
Yeah. Okay, what's next? Man.
We're on here. We've been on 82 minutes.
Kenda said that she's from Louisiana. They will be nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Card Shop Realities in Louisiana too.
Okay,
So.
boom. Let's see, LTV. Hi, JJ, I'm an independent contractor, made over 150K. How much will my monthly estimated pay? Well, let me just be, you know, if you're talking about the PPP, you're capped at 100 divided by 12 times 2.5, there you go. And then on your forgiveness, it'll be the 100 divided by 52 times 8. Let's see. Man, I love it. Luis Flores. Hey, JJ, got PPP under sole proprietor. Do I have a portion out of the amount to be forgiven to myself as wages, or can I take it amount all at once? Well, you can take it all at once, unless your bank says otherwise, but the banks around here say you can take it all at once, and what you can take is line 31 divided by 52 times 8. Basically, it's forgiven. You can take it all. The rest of it, though, you do have to expend it on the extra expenses. Go to jjthecpahelp.com forgiveness page, because I have a document in there that lists out the other things that would count for the the self-employed, which is more liberal, as in more opportunities for expenses to count for your other expenses. Okay, let's see. Patty B, S Corp with 7 employees. Thoughts on owner insurance, 401k, employer match related to forgiveness. Our employer match is 3% limited based on the cap of 100K. Appreciate you both. Thank you so much, Patty B. Yes, so just to be clear, owners get to be included. Their health insurance, yes. Their employee match, yes. And you hit the nail on the head that when you're figuring out that match, it would be on the max 100K. That is in the details. That's awesome. Patty B is on it.
Patty.
Patty B.
Patty B. I love it.
All right, Gabriel. I have my credit frozen and received EIDL funds yesterday. There you go. It's the way it's supposed to be. Good job. I'm glad. Let's see. JJ likes New Jersey just because he didn't get off Soprano style. This is true.
Well, I will tell you.
I will tell you this. You say it.
We did go.
You say it.
We went to a cigar bar.
Oh, it was straight up.
It was straight up mafia. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like they were.
It was
there,
awesome.
They were in there in their windsuits with their big gold chains, and they had their little young ladies in there with them with
the
their
fur
big
coats.
fur coats. Like,
It was like I'm sitting there like, you know, it's because we're from Oklahoma. They knew we were no threat.
Yeah, but we were there for like 8 hours because that was back whenever, you know, we could watch sports on TV.
That's right. We watched the Dodgers in the World Series. That was actually 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. All right, card shop. Just kidding. Let's see. No, this is for real. This is for real. There was like, it wasn't Robert De Niro, but you're like, there's Robert De Niro.
And they all
Okay,
had,
here's Al
remember
Pacino.
all the men had those gold rings on their
Let's not
pinkies?
talk about it too much.
They had gold rings on their pinkies.
Because everybody's gonna be like,
and
where
they
were
came
you?
They came in and like all of them were kissing each other on the cheek. Like it was straight up mafia.
And I was jealous. I wanted to be right in on that. They don't have that in the CPA world.
No.
That'd be funny if we did. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Next
Be going to
time.
seminars.
Next time we'll record it. That was back before we recorded
No,
everything.
we're not. We're not recording anything. You get,
hidden cameras.
and you get offed. Yeah, they'd think we're with the feds or something.
Oh,
All right,
goodness.
let's see. Lynn, hi JJ from NYC. Love it. Good to see you. Thank you for being on. As a self-employed trauma therapist, can I apply for PPP loan? Yes. You need to have your Schedule C for 2019. They won't accept anything otherwise. Okay. And it'll be basically real simple. It's line 31 divided by 12. That's your monthly amount times 2.5. There's your max loan. Bada boom, bada bing. Put your social security number on there. Mark yourself sole proprietor. Answer the questions. Better get to a bank though ASAP. Like tomorrow, have the bank. Go to my website, jjcpahelp.com. I've got the application on there. As far as I know, it's not had any changes to it. But like today, tonight, by midnight, there's nothing else that's more important. Unless you're working a shift, but you need to make sure you're getting that done ASAP. Someone had a question on a 50-50 on a partnership. What was that one? I saw it flash up. TNG customer service, your hands are tied, is according to SBA if you don't have a 2019 Schedule C. So do this, okay? I'm gonna tell my story, okay? If you've been on before, Gene's heard it, Fred's heard it, okay?
Amanda's heard it.
Amanda's heard it, right? Backyard barbecue,
Card shop.
Kenda, Tina, okay? Here's the example, okay? Pretend for a moment you are a hairstylist. Is that what you call, right? A hairstylist, right? You cut hair. So a hairstylist, not in a million years, would tell a customer to cut their own bangs. Probably wouldn't even tell them to cut the back, wouldn't tell them to cut nothing, right? Nothing. But this is how I want to think. You need to think of yourself this way. You are on a raft, you are out in the middle of the ocean, and the only way you're going to get back to shore is you got to cut your own bangs. And your hairstylist, rest assured, because they love you, are going to tell you to cut your own bangs to be able to get to shore. Well, in these circumstances, what you're going to need to do, because you're going to either be on the inside or you're going to be on the outside. So you're going to just have to do your own Schedule C. Know this, whatever you prepare, it will have to be what you submit to the IRS, period, the end. But a Schedule C is simply, here's your income, here's your expenses. I got 2 videos on it, and I'm telling you right now, I've never in 27 years told anybody to do their own return. I've never told anybody to do their own Schedule C. If you can go get a software, you can do it, but I'm telling you, this is the difference between you getting it's the difference between you getting PP money and not getting PPP. So your tax professional, your CPA, it's not their fault they're closed, that they can't get it to you in time, but I'm telling you, if you don't have that by tomorrow noon, okay, and don't go knock on your tax professional's door. Just do it yourself, okay? You need to get it done yourself, and it's just the difference. Either that or you're just gonna be on the raft, okay? And then the salon stylist is gonna say, well, they shouldn't cut their own bangs, so they're just gonna stay out there and rot and die because I'm not gonna have someone cut their own bangs. Well, I'm telling you, this is a situation you're gonna have to cut your own bangs, right? So you better just get on Schedule C, irs.gov, you find the Schedule C. That's dangerous talk, okay? That's dangerous talk for you to do it. But know this, whatever you come up with, period, that's what you have to file with the IRS. So I've got a couple videos on it in the PPP self-employed playlist. I'm told they're a little funny to relax you.
Absolutely.
And then I'll take them down when this is over because I don't want anybody preparing their own returns, especially sole proprietors, right?
All right, you asked about the 50-50. That was from Trish.
Yeah.
She said, my partner and I are 50-50 owners, 0 employees, so we get the $2,000 from EIDL, and we can forget about the $10,000.
Correct, but I am holding out that the EIDL will go back to the 10K. So I am telling people, I was talking with Julio.
Julio, we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, well, I've talked to him the last couple of days. He's cheating on me.
Oh, is he?
Well, he just going to the front of the line, and we've conversed, and then he doesn't come on the show.
Oh.
So I'm gonna tell him no.
You're
Next
cut
time you're
Cut
on.
him off. Yeah.
Anyways, what were we talking about? We're talking about 50-50. What about it? Oh yeah. So Julio was asking, fellow CPA. He said, "Hey, why are you telling people to do the EIDL?" And before you were saying don't. And the reason is a couple of reasons. The EIDL is a different ball game now. The application, unless they change it, it was about EIDL April 3rd or before. It does have an effect on your forgiveness. Even if it does have an effect on your forgiveness at the end, so what at this point? Because we don't want to risk not getting some money here, okay? So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to double dip, because the EIDL, if you get those funds and you use them for other purposes, you can obtain them. And under post PPP 1 going into PPP 2, when I say there's nothing that's preventing it, I'm not somebody that says, well, I didn't see anywhere that it said I couldn't take it, so I took it. I'm not saying that at all. It's just there was EIDL before PPP and then EIDL after. All to say this: apply, put the 2. You may get 2, but it may be reverting back to the 10, which also I'm saying to people, go apply again when they re-release it, so to speak, if you got less than 10. Because they'll come back and they'll say, hey, we are only doing 1,000 per employee. So you already got your 1,000 per employee. But they may come back and be like, oh yeah, we're just doing it back to the old fashioned. So I'm hoping that the SBA will put something out. And if they are smart, they'll probably have something when you go to apply that will ask you that question. So at the end of the day, apply for it. You're looking at $2,000, get it, and you can use it for, and if you're doing PPP, use it for other expenses besides payroll, rent, utilities, interest, employer match, employer insurance, and SUTA. Let's see. All right, so TNG, you're taking your life in your own hands, so to speak, but you can do it. You can
do it.
It's written in English. Not that there's anything against someone who doesn't know how to read English. All I'm saying is it's written in English. I walk you through it. Do it, okay? I'll never say that again in my career, ever. I'm taking down those videos when this is all over.
I know you are.
Because I don't think someone should re-roof their house. I don't think they should fix their own toilets.
I know.
Right? You hire a professional for these things.
Professional to try it.
But anyways, right now, the house is flooded. You're gonna have to figure out how to take care of it yourself. What else we got?
Yes, everybody give thumbs up. we would appreciate that. Make sure that you are subscribed. I had to look up Card Shop Reality because he just cracks me up, and you would like going to his shop. He's got like comic books and cards and baseball cards.
Awesome.
And that's what he does.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
where is he?
He's in Louisiana.
He or she? He or she. Okay,
I'm
Louisiana.
assuming it's a he, and so if I have totally offended you, Card Shop, I'm sorry.
Well, at least it was you.
It was
and you're
me.
a woman, and you can get away with it. Okay, hey, Richard Jude. Okay, let's see. 401k includes the employer match. What about the profit sharing with the Social Security integration? Does the max? So here's the deal. I didn't think it was going to include the pension, but when you read the law, and I haven't seen anything that has done away with it, but it talks about even beyond quote unquote the match. It's the employer paid retirement benefits is really what that comes down to. Honestly, I didn't think it was really right, for lack of a better word, meaning in terms of like, well, what are we giving money towards here? Is it really towards the person that's putting money into a SEP? And it appears to be the case. So I would probably, though, make your client sign something that says if you're doing it and it doesn't turn out right, it's your own fault, not mine, can't blame me. This is, legal descriptions, and then maybe they check with their bank. But I'm telling you right now, we did applications, and we included on a few of the clients exactly what you're talking about here. As long as it doesn't include, which I know I'm just based on what you said, I'm just making it clear for anybody else that was reading it. So it does not include the employer portion of Social Security tax. I know that's not what you're saying there, but just to be clear. All right. Thank you, Richard. Let's see, Lynn. Oh, we talked to Lynn. I must be really far behind. Someone said, where'd you get the 52 from? SBA, I think that's what it said. SBA, April 14th. They came out and they got a real nice, beautiful example. Go to my website, you'll find it, jjcpahelp.com. And on the forgiveness page, you'll find the SBA 414, as in April 14th. And in there, real beautiful example, but it's just line 31 divided by 52 weeks times 8 for 8 weeks is how long the PPP lasts. That's your automatic forgiveness. Whew, done, beautiful. Oh, it's gonna be so easy. And then it's just then the rest of those. All right, let's see.
The definition.
Oh, the gold ring, like on Better Call Saul.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. I can't wait for the next one. Tony, you watch Better Call Saul? I'm assuming you do. All right, what else?
JJ and Amanda practice what they preach about hiring professionals. When seeking an assassin, they go to the right cigar bars to hire a pro. I love Card Shop. He is hilarious,
yeah.
and he is a he. So see, I was right.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Terry Arden, I got an essential worker letter to begin working. Is there a max I can make per week that will keep unemployment coming in? I may only be able to work 6 hours a week.
I don't know on that one. The feds are letting the states, for whatever reason, make some interpretations on that. But I'm gonna tell you this on that PUA. The gap, the whatever you want to call it, the doorway is so wide on who qualifies, how you qualify. I mean, if you're working 6 hours a week, it seems reasonable to me that you would still be able to get the PUA. But I'm going to have to say it kind of is up to the states. And as much as I would think you deserve it, you would want to make sure that the state's going to approve it. Sounds like you would. If you're only working 6 hours a week, I don't know how you wouldn't get PUA. Now in the states, the state unemployment, I have no idea because that definitely is different from every state. But the PUA, I would think you'd still be able to get it. Okay, let's see. Real quick though, we've got one. We haven't seen this question in a while. Totis Mamon. I don't have a business account. What banks are doing PPP without having a business account? Check with your bank because, the clients that the few that have a sole proprietorship, the banks just open up a personal account form if they weren't there. Some banks are saying you have a business account. So I think it just depends on what bank you're at. So you probably want to ask them if they've already taken your app. I've got one bank that they took apps that weren't clients, and then when the money came in, then they set them up an account just because they were making things easier.
Eric says, "Hi JJ, thanks for all you've been doing. You gave me the courage to apply for PPP 1. I finally got approved last Friday on the 4/17. My question is, how long before I get the funds?"
You know, they're supposed to do it within 10 days. That's what the SBA indicated. Hey, Blair, repeat what your question is. You want to know my thoughts. I'm not seeing your question, so reissue it.
Trish says, "My accountant told me I can't go for PPP 2 because we're Schedule K, not C, but he's not you. Is he correct?"
I'm sorry, I was reading Curtis CPA.
"My accountant told me we cannot go for PPP 2 because we are Schedule K, not C, but he's not you. Is he correct?"
Well, if it's scheduled, so maybe, okay? Here's your eye through the, what is it? Eye through the needle, whatever, something like that. If you have a Schedule K1 from a partnership, that's a Form 1065, and you have a Box 4, which is guaranteed payments, okay? Then on April 14th, the SBA came out and said that you would apply at the partnership level for PPP based on that. I don't think that the SBA gave enough guidance, because you can interpret it as if you have also Box 14 self-employment income that you could apply. But I am telling you this right now, the banks that were ahead of the curve in their interpretation of what to include in the partnership application, it was only the guaranteed payment amounts. So if your CPA, if you have a Schedule K1 from an S Corp, you're out of luck. If you have a Schedule K1 from a partnership, it's a maybe, and it's a Box 14, a Box 4. It seems like the banks are only doing Box 4. And you would do it up at the business level. So do you know what you are? Do you know if you're a partnership or an S Corp? If you're an LLC, LLC can be taxed as either, okay? Let's see, LTV, when's round 2 gonna start? I'm telling you this right now, you know, Trump's gonna, I almost said Bush. Bush is gonna sign it, Trump. You know, Trump's gonna sign it today. Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yeah.
I would be surprised that it's tomorrow. I wouldn't, might be off to the races on Monday.
Yeah.
EIDL, let me tell you this right now. I think they launch EIDL like at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, which would be 2 a.m. Pacific, right? 5 a.m. And the only reason I say that is that EIDL went offline right about then. And I think that, you know, it's kind of like anything that they know is going to go like hotcakes.
Yeah.
You know, opening it early. So I'm telling you this, until I know, because I've got a few clients that need the EIDL. They don't qualify for the PPP because they don't have the wages. They didn't get the EIDL for whatever reason.
Right.
And I said, you better put me on like the emergency contact. When I call or text, you're going to get the ring because you need to apply ASAP. So I'm not sure. I'm going to predict it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And might be Monday. And if it is Monday, I'd be looking Monday 4 a.m. on the EIDL.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'd be nice if they'd tell us.
Card Shop Reality has a serious question. JJ, did y'all receive any angry CPA emails from them after one of your recent late night videos requesting them to bring it? If so, please read them. Thanks.
Oh.
We did not.
Never did. I did have one EA that commented and said, you know, inappropriate. And then they put their phone number in the comments, and I deleted the phone number. And just because I didn't want it in the comments. But then they had a follow-up comment that seemed like they were okay with it.
Yeah.
So I didn't call them. I just figured, you know, why? No reason to. But no, I didn't get any emails. And I've gotten, I think, a number of people that have appreciated it, and someone had to say it, so I did.
Yep.
But
Card Shop Reality, and EA is an enrolled agent.
Oh yeah.
He asked what that
Oh,
meant.
okay, yeah. So our EAs, so Diana is
back?
she in today?
Diana from Allegro,
Yeah.
I believe, was on earlier. I don't know if you're still on, Diana, or not. But
But EAs, so they are a tax specialist. They take a pretty rigorous exam with the IRS directly to become an enrolled agent, which means they can practice before the IRS, as in represent the clients. It's definitely a massive achievement to become an EA. And the CPA, we have to have a degree, and then we have to pass an exam, everything related to accounting. But an EA, they're doing tax, they're taking an exam on tax, they have to do continuation on tax, so it's a very focused in credential. And so I have a lot of respect. And then, for those that are in the tax business that, like, they've been in it, you don't have to be an EA. And a lot of people are surprised. They're like, you don't have to be a CPA to do tax returns? No. But the ones that are professionals, because we know a couple of them, they don't have initials. Right? But you can tell they're a professional. They've been doing it a long time. They're around all year. Hey, but I do want to read this. Hang on. Curtis Harvey, CPA, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the compliment. Said, sat through a seminar with a large regional firm today, and although the information was great, I found that your videos have given me much greater overall understanding. Keep it up. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I really appreciate that.
Elizabeth asked, and just curious, with your own S Corp, JJ, do you do a Schedule C or the K?
Okay, so what's the question?
Just curious, with your own S Corp,
Yeah.
do you do a Schedule C or the K?
Well, see, so with a S Corp, there's only a Schedule K. Not possible to have a Schedule C. Schedule C is that you don't file a separate return. You can have a Schedule C and be an LLC. A lot of times people call that a single member LLC, but a single member LLC could be an S Corp, could be a C Corp. But most people using the terminology single member LLC means they don't file a separate return. For tax purposes, it's a disregarded entity. So Schedule C is the report that you file on your individual return, so you're not filing a separate return. Here's why I'm not a fan of Schedule C, and I have a video on no one should be a sole proprietor, right? What did I say, like only an idiot would or something, or lazy, or, I tried to put something on the thumbnail and make people watch it. They call that clickbait.
I think it was an idiot.
Yeah. Even though I'm always nice in my videos. But if you're making more than about 20,000 net, every CPA has a little different number. I always ask when I'm out talking across the nation. Thank you so much, Regina. But I talk to CPAs around the nation. It seems like 20 to 30,000. If you're netting more than 20 or 30,000, then it starts making sense to become an S Corp, because you're paying self-employment tax on whatever you net. But when you become an S Corp, you got to pay yourself wages, so you're paying the same taxes on wages. So 20, 30,000, it's kind of, I'm not going to really save anything when you take into account the fees and, separate set of books and things to that effect. With some client, maybe it's above 50 grand, probably just depends. But anyways, at the end of the day, my S Corp, that's what I am. I'm a PC. That's how old there wasn't even an LLC. There was no PLLCs when I started my practice. Anyway, so I'm a professional corporation, and it is taxed as an S Corp. I'm actively involved in it, of course. Pay myself wages, but then I get a K1 on the S. But I'll tell you this, I don't mind telling people, but I also have an insurance practice. I'm a licensed life and disability income insurance agent. And the reason why is I did it to protect my clients, meaning if they needed life and DI instead of someone selling it to them, even though there's wonderful life insurance professionals out there, I wanted to be the one to make sure they were getting the right amount. Long story short, I am paid as a statutory employee through the company that I'm with, even though it's a DBA Jenson Insurance, and that's on a Schedule C, but I can't file a separate return. I can't have a separate entity. I can't be an LLC because I'm under the umbrella of a larger company in most states. The insurance boards, insurance commission is not going to allow you to do that unless you're a registered insurance company, quote unquote. So anyways, I've got both circumstances, but they're completely different.
Blair.
Did Blair give it to us? Yeah.
We got PPP and want to bring our back employees, but they'd rather sit at home and collect their unemployment checks with the extra $600 a week. By the time the $600 a week runs out, PPP will be over. The whole idea of PPP was to get people back to work, but we have to provide them with substantial raises to provide incentive, which we can't do under PPP. Catch-22, suggestions?
Yeah. So we have it, we will get to the emails within 5 minutes. We have an email that someone has a very similar set of circumstances. So when we hit that email, we're gonna hit that Blair. So let's see, Stephen Downing, let's see, IUJJ, what's up? Thanks for the motivation on your other videos. I needed that. SBA runs credit check. What's usually next based upon your experience, the likelihood and timeline for your decision? So on the SBA, if it's EIDL, they're just making sure you haven't defaulted on an SBA loan or a federally backed loan. Now, if you're doing the SBA Express, should be like within a week. Now, there's no hard line on that, but if you've gone to a lender and you're doing an SBA loan and they've hit your credit, you should be dealing with the banker. Now, if you haven't, you just went to SBA.gov, you put in the EIDL. I'd look at the ping on your credit though as a good thing, because again, they're just checking your identity. It's not based on a credit score, period. It's just they're checking that. So if they've done the ping, it seems like the people that have said they've gotten a ping, even though there's no official timeline, it seems like there's maybe 10 days. Hey, Tina, are you on? The Tina that wasn't on yesterday. Hey, we're gonna go through your email, but
Tracy?
No, Tracy. Gosh, why am I thinking of Tina Beard? Tracy. Yeah, we decided that on emails, we're just gonna do first names, and then if they have kind of some, I don't even want to say personal, if they're giving numbers about their business, then we're not going to say their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. We might give their initials. But yes, the EIDL, it's not that it's forgivable, you just don't have to pay it back. There was a question about that. You don't have to pay back EIDL. The PPP is forgivable if you use it accordingly. Let's see, I did the EIDL and the PPP, got nothing. What should we do? Bank's not getting back to us. Jeff B, here's what I need you to do. I want you to go to my videos. This is gonna be worth it for you. And probably within the last 48 hours, I've got one that says, get in the coach's huddle. I'm gonna get up in your grill. Okay, I think you'll enjoy it, but I tell you in that what you need to do, and that's what you need to do, and you need to get it done by midnight tonight. And if you're like, well, what's the next step after that? Then I've got some other videos that you just need to check out. So dig through those, and it's going to tell you what you need to do. But go watch that coach's one. I think even Gene and Nancy H said you should watch it. So I wasn't sure about Gene and Nancy H, only from the standpoint of, okay, we're talking about, maybe they wouldn't like that kind of video, so to speak, right? Because it's kind of a, anyways, I think you'll like it. Let's see. Okay, still learning. Got the advance, but want to know about the loan part of the EIDL. Is there a formula to determine how much will qualify for on the EIDL portion? So if you got the advance and you want to know about the loan part of the EIDL, so my understanding is you got your 10 and then you get another 25. But the 25 you would pay back. It's the express, and you get that through the bank, through a lender. Let's see. Trish, go for the EIDL. We will not get the 10, only 2. I don't know. They did go back to only doing 1,000 per, they only did 1,000 per employee. I guess for partnership, it'd be per owner. But that's because they were running dry. They're getting ready to replenish 10 billion. But I'll tell you this, the reason I know it's going to go so fast is someone might have been a typo. But they had 10 billion before, and this article said 400 billion was applied for. I don't know about that, but let's just say 40 billion was applied for. So that's going to go super, super fast. So get after it. Let's see, David. Only have 19 done. and was told 2,000 in payroll, good for PPP, any IDL, what else would I need? Okay, so listen, if you have a Schedule C and you're paying your employees, then you're gonna get PPP based on what you're paying your employees. If you want PPP based on what you make as a sole proprietor, the SBA made no qualms about it, no exceptions. You need a 2019 Schedule C. I've got a couple of videos called Schedule C. Go to PPP Self-Employed playlist and see if you can cut your own bangs. And those that were listening before knows what that means. See, TNG, thanks for the info. First time here, just happened to run across your videos, but I can't find the website. JJthecpahelp.com. And TNG, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, since I answered your question especially, and share the good word. So I'd love it if you subscribe, even if you have to log in. That'd be great. Let's see. Down by the Schoolyard Lyric. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. Hang on, Paul. I love it. Paul Buckle's got a CPA that I can get behind. Paul Buckle's got a CPA I can get behind. It said, my CPA said, go ahead and fill out Schedule C to apply for the PPP and then send her a copy to reference. Yeah, just got to get her done. Carol, I made it last night. If you just go to my all my videos, you can't miss it because it's going to burn your eyes. The green says QuickBooks on it.
Alyssa, he does have insurance videos. They're just going to be old, but there is a playlist that's called insurance, and so if you just go to that, then you can see all of his insurance videos.
Yeah, so I've got some. I'm on the golf course. I've got some that go back 2 years.
Yeah. So
this was before we knew to put the phone sideways. It was before I had a mic. I didn't have any facial hair.
Nope, and I mean, we've got them when we're traveling, and
yeah, you need to watch them. I mean, when I watch them, I'm like, man, that's back in the day.
Yeah, you guys don't know, but his facial hair is not anything that is
It's
normal.
coronavirus.
It's never been normal. You started growing that really kind of end of December, beginning of January.
No. That was just like, but I shaved it every 3 days. Yeah. It was kind of Miami Vice, Don Johnson. Yeah. Then I'd shave it. Miami Vice, Don Johnson, then I'd shave it, right? Yeah. But when we were just home,
yeah,
and you liked it.
I love it.
Yeah, and my son liked it.
Yeah.
Coop was like, yeah, that's pretty, it looks pretty good on you, Dad. So anyways, yeah, the thing is there's just so many people now that I don't know if I can shave it now.
I know.
It might be part of the.
It's just gonna be your new look.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah, I've never had. Let's see. Do it. Thumbs up. Love it. Let's see. Is there any more in here? Federal. Okay. Hey, on the federal PUA, yes, it should be at the state site. But I'll tell you, in Oklahoma, it's at the state site, but you have to like search for it. So find the PUA, like dig and dig and dig. Some states still don't have it. Oklahoma still doesn't have it. Like quote unquote pre-apply. April 28th before Arizona gets it. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. JJ. Okay, we talked about that. JJ, new to your channel. Great stuff. Thank you, Pat. Any new information for a side hustle, 1099s? Any recommendations going forward? Or 1099 still able to get forgivable loan? Pat. So, I'm going to answer your question, but I ask that you subscribe only because I'm a numbers guy and I love to see that people are subscribing. So if you don't file a Schedule C, which just means you're not taking any expenses, then you can do the PPP based on the 1099s that you receive. And the reason that the banks will do that is you're not taking any expenses. However, to play it safe, okay, go to irs.gov, print yourself out a Schedule C, and the total of your 1099s, okay, put on the line 1, put on the line item, it says gross receipts. Carry the math down, then you'll have a line 31, it'll be the exact same number, and that's what the bank's gonna wanna see. They're gonna wanna see that form, Schedule C. And then give them your 1099s, give them your Schedule C, you'll base that application basically on the total of that, no expenses, so it'll be the total of your 1099s divided by 12 times 2.5, boom, side hustle qualifies for PPP. Oh, Kitty O'Sullivan, Sorry, I went dark for a while. I found a nonprofit who's willing to accept PPP apps from non-customers. I love it. Kitty, thank you and welcome back. Let's see, 636. Because banks are bailing out people who already owe them money. Yes. Let's see. All right, so maybe we need to get to. So Matthew is indicating got an agreement. You know, I don't know. I mean, maybe some people can comment inside, but I don't know. Don't take my I don't know as like, I don't know if you should do it. I just genuinely don't know on PayPal. Someone earlier said that they got something back saying that they, didn't get approved for it, which so to me, it's like, that's not even possible. So, anyways, Joey Broadway, no, never been in the IDL, never been a forgivable loan, okay? Maybe if you were a university or some kind of research and development type company, you might get a grant, which is similar. TNG subscribed, I appreciate that so much. Found the website, boom, but I missed what you were saying about the Schedule C after that. So on my YouTube channel, okay, go to the playlist called PPP Self-Employed. And then I've got a video and it's Amanda and I, and we have our face masks on, but it looks like we're getting ready to rob a bank. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it says deductible expenses for dummies. Okay, so that's a joke because they have books called that. Mm-hmm. You want that video, but more importantly, you want the video that's right next to it, and it has a red C on it. So watch those two videos. Hopefully it'll help. People have found it funny. And just know this, when I'm talking about doing it right by doing it right, it's saying don't worry about taking all the expenses that you're trying to take in a normal year, such as, well, if I drive to the bank and I drive down here, can I include that mileage? And then wink, 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 I went to go out to eat with this person, can I write that off? Don't do those expenses. Just do your normal expenses that are the ones that are gonna qualify. Anyways, you'll see on the video. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that you found this, and then welcome to the community. We're here every day. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. And as you can see, it's fun. People were enjoying checking in. Let's see, we'll do one more here and then we're gonna go to the emails. Joshua Parr, if business owner is Schedule C but has employee payroll, can both payroll and Schedule C be used to determine PPP? Absolutely. So go to jjthecpahelp.com, go to the PPP page, and I've got a spreadsheet there for you that talks about how to calc that. So you're gonna do both spreadsheets. So go check it out. And then the SBA guidelines that came out on April 14th lay out that you can do that. And basically you have two separate calculations on one application. So follow that. I've got some videos to go with it. So great question, and definitely do it. Let's see. Something here, card shop, reality? Show, hide, what?
I was there.
Okay. Sir Andy, I subscribed. Thank you so much. What about if an independent contractor receiving W-2s could apply for the PPP? And if so, what do I need? So the only way that you can is if you're a W-2 statutory employee, which you would know this because you filed a Schedule C. But if you're getting a W-2 and on your W-2, there's a little box that says statutory employee. If that box is checked and you're on Schedule C, then you qualify. And I have verified that with a couple of banks. So, but if it's just a W-2, it won't qualify for anything. But if you're not earning money, then go do which I'm sure you already know, but the PUA, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. So thank you, Sir Andy. So Helena, you wouldn't be able to get a PPP. I hate to say it, if it's negative. I was laughing at another comment. Josh S, only have Schedule C. What are my options? There is a schedule. Listen, you're just going to have to do this. Okay, you're going to have to just trust me. Okay, follow my voice. Whatever software you're in, there's probably an option that you don't want to do the Schedule CEZ. It's no difference than a Schedule C other than it's just 1 page versus 2 page. You're just gonna have to force it. You may have to go to irs.gov, take that Schedule CEZ from whatever software you're using, and then you put on a Schedule C because you need a line 31. Maybe the banks will take the EZ, but why sit there and try and square peg in a round hole? You need a Schedule C. They're going to be looking for line 31. They're the exact same thing. The EZ just doesn't have as many line items, and it's just a one-pager. So transfer that information to Schedule C, even if it's going and filling out the PDF at irs.gov. Makes no tax difference, but there should be no excuses. And I'm telling you this right now, if you put in a CEZ and you don't get the loan, you're gonna be really upset with yourself. So you need to go through the extra effort and get the Schedule C. Trust me on that, because I'm telling you right now, the money's gonna be gone, ASAP, gone. And you're gonna have a banker there that doesn't really do what she's doing or he's doing right there in the moment. They're just gonna go, well, I don't know what this is. It says line 32, it has an EZ, it must not work. And they're gonna throw it to the left, and you're not gonna be able to get any money. So get your Schedule C. Let's see, Joshua, you bet. Let's see. All right, let's go to the emails.
Okay. Talking to employees about their first PPP payroll, some apparently didn't think $3,600 was enough for only working 79 hours over 2 weeks. I finally said we are all only entitled to the hours we work. The 1,600 over your hours worked is a gift. Granted, some of these drivers work a full 70 hours per week, and some are upset that some are home and being paid or working less hours than others. We base their PPP pay on same period, hours worked, second quarter 19. It's a shame, really. We would have had to lay over half of them off without this loan.
Yeah. So, the couple of things there. I mean, it puts employers in a spot, because basically what this is you have a circumstance where, the employer went through the effort of getting the PPP, the employer's sitting on the money, but the employer can only pay out, in essence, what the employee's been making. So if you have an employee that's in essence making money directly from the customer, but it's just flowing through on the wages, and I understand there's a tip provision in all of this, but in this set of circumstances here, and we're purposely not saying the name just in case, but in these set of circumstances, I think we even had communicated beforehand, and I think the bank agreed with what position was being taken on the PPP loan. But really the issue here is that you're kind of stuck, right? I mean, I'm the kind of employer that I'd be like, well, then you just don't have a job here. But I know businesses, we're relying on our employees. And so can you fault your employee that unfortunately the government came up with a way for them to make more money on unemployment, which in some ways, then why even do the PPP? Why not? In some ways it's almost like they should have just done the PUA and left us employers out of it and give us some money to help us, as well as pay rent and utilities, give us a few extra bucks, instead of, some have said, the PPP money, obviously the majority, at 75% of it's going to the employees. Now you have the employer that's on the hook for it. So in those circumstances, all you really can do is just the ones that are going to be on unemployment. I'm not sure 100% on this. I'm going to kind of see how PPP2 goes. But I think that employers need to, and I just haven't come up with it yet, that they need to come up with something that the employee is signing off on the fact that they're refusing a paycheck, that they're refusing the money. And the reason why is that if you look at section 1106 of the CARES Act, it indicates in 1106E, that the employer has to bring unemployment filings. Now, I think the employer only is going to have issues if their payroll overall dollars remain the same, but then they had a bunch of employees on unemployment. But at the same time, if you have employees on unemployment and you need to hire replacements because they're gone, it seems like you probably still would be okay. But the fact of the matter is, the employers are having to bring unemployment filings. And so, you know, it is a free country. We can't force the employees to work. We can't force them to take pay. But that's literally something that, follow up with me if you haven't seen anything on this. What's the initials?
T.
T. Okay. Follow up with me in a couple of weeks if you haven't heard me come out with anything. But we don't need our employees getting us in trouble because when we go to get forgiveness, somehow it's indicated that, or it's implied that we did something incorrect here, because it is meant to be exactly what we got the money for. And employees can get upset all they want, and that's really unfair because, first of all, the employer didn't create this crisis. Number two, the employer is going out and getting these funds that they're at risk for if they don't spend them correctly. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, it's a tough spot. And so we had another question on it. No, I'm saying we had someone in the comments that talked about that.
This one's from Greg. So I got my PPP today. Do you have any completely legal tricks or other expenses I may consider that I may not be aware of to lower this future loan amount? I am very anti-borrowing money. Should I just go ahead and make that X amount of payment now and be done with it while I have the money, or wait and see if the SBA gives us some additional expenses to use? If I knew then what I know now, I would have just gotten a loan for exactly the forgivable amount.
Yeah, so the thing there is that if you would have gotten the loan for the exact forgivable amount, you still wouldn't have ended up with what you wanted, because whatever your max loan is, you're going to divide that by, for a sole proprietor, you're going to divide it by 52 times 8. So if you took less, you would be taking less times 52, or divided by 52 times 8. So you only could do what it is that you did, because if you took less, you would end up with less and you'd still be paying money back. So go to jjthecpahelp.com, and on the forgiveness page, I have a list that's directly from the SBA. So you can take a look at that. They may come out with further clarification. But I do know, I do know when Amanda, on her sole proprietorship, she doesn't have those other expenses. So she's gonna take the lump sum, which is divided by 52 times 8, and then that, the bank set up a separate account. She's just gonna leave it in there, and then as soon as she can pay it back, she's just gonna pay it back. So that's all that can be done. But you can go and look at the list of expenses. But I've had one banker tell me that they think the U.S. Treasury is just gonna buy these all up, and so in terms of stretching, you don't want to do it because it's not what it's designed for. I don't think that that's what you're asking per se. But there are no tricks. There are no tricks to play, because you literally may be sitting across from a U.S. Secret Service agent going through your documents, or an IRS agent, or an FDIC agent, or a gun-carrying criminal investigative agent, okay? Like, for real, because if the U.S. Treasury buys it up, you're not going to sit in front of the friendly banker examiner. You're going to sit in front of every single one of us, unless they somehow waive some of this, which I don't anticipate. You're going to be staring eyeball to eyeball with someone who's going to be looking at whatever it is that you did. EIDL, you just don't have to pay it back. It's not that it's forgivable.
The next one is from Peter. For self-employed, having received PPP, do you repay yourself retroactively? For example, if business stopped from March 15th on, do you repay yourself from March 15th to May 15th, then May 15th apply for PUA?
Yeah, it's a good question on that. I would say this, that retro to any of it, basically when you get your PPP divided by 52 on a sole proprietor times 8, there you go. And, because it's not retro, you'll have to make your own decisions. You'll have to check with the state unemployment, where you're going to go get your PUA, on when you think that runs out. I mean, in some regards, it's supposed to be for 8 weeks. But in some regards, if you're Schedule C, net income line 31 is a very low amount that you can't even live off of, then you might be doing POA sooner than that. So, oh goodness, who started yawning?
Oh, I did.
You did?
I
think you did.
We were supposed to be on for 2 hours.
Oh, how long have we been on?
Almost 2.5.
Almost 2.5. All right, well, we'll wrap up here in 10 minutes.
All right.
We'll get off in 10 minutes.
Next one is from Dax. Just got off the phone with a client and we discussed the question I can't find an answer to. He received the PPP loan for his business and the banker told him that he has to spend it the way it was intended or face possible fines, penalties, and could it even result in jail time. He has put his crew back on payroll, but some have remained on unemployment because they're making more. At the end of the 8-week period, if there are excess funds and he converts those funds to a loan, can he use those funds for anything or does it have to be payroll and utilities? He has asked his banker and they could not give him an answer, and I don't guess I have found anything myself.
Yeah, there's no guidance on it, but here's the thing, Dax. Dax is CPA, right?
Dax is a CPA.
Boom, thank you so much. Yeah, I haven't found anything either on point, but here's where I'm at with it, and here's what I'm telling my clients, and it's helping my clients or just others that are listening kind of take a deep breath and go, oh, okay, I can handle that. But here's how I look at it. Like anything else that becomes a loan, you can use it for what it is that you choose. Meaning, first 8 weeks, you have standards and procedures and clause around it, what you can and cannot do. And that's the grant period. At the end of the 8 weeks, chips fall where they may. Whatever's due, okay, you got to pay it back. Whatever's not forgiven. So once it becomes a loan, then and there's no more opportunity for forgiveness. Now there's no more strings attached to it. So therefore, I believe at that point, it can be used for what the employer wants. But I'm confident the SBA will come out with further clarification. But I do know this, it will be suspect, and that's why I said earlier, if you're an employer going in for forgiveness and you're bringing in low payroll and you're bringing in the unemployment filings, which you're required to do, then you might have buy card shop. Then you might have some explaining to do from the standpoint of like, well, you got this to pay employees. You signed and certified and qualified that you were getting this to retain and pay your employees. So if employees are staying on unemployment and they're not coming back during the 8 weeks, but then they show up later, and now you have someone going, well, I have money left over. I'm going to use it forever I want. I still think it works okay. All I'm saying is we definitely want to have the SBA rule on this and figure it out. And that's why I'm also wondering if somehow employers need something in writing from these employees where the employees are refusing. Now, the one thing I can say on this is that I'm not sure these employees are properly answering questions, so they're committing fraud, and I don't say it lightly, but they're absolutely committing fraud. So I had a discussion with one of my clients' employees telling them that if they do what they're going to do, they would be committing fraud, and that we were not, my client, their employer, was not going to participate in it. And by them committing fraud, we would have no choice but to respond to the state to indicate that what they filed was false. So these employees that are doing that are committing fraud as far as I can say it. Because when you're going to get unemployment, and I don't know about every state, but you're saying, I don't have an employer that can pay me. I don't have a job, or I'm on furlough. My employer doesn't have money to pay me. My employer can't pay me. Fraud. You don't want to participate in it. How do you not participate in it? The employee needs to sign something indicating that they refuse to come to work, which quite frankly, they're now even in more fraud. So it's a dilemma, it's a pickle. The government, for lack of a better way of explaining it, created the set of circumstances, but it doesn't change the fact that those employees, in my opinion, are literally committing fraud. Seriously committing fraud, because they're indicating, I don't have an employer that can pay me. I don't have a job. It's not, no governmental agency is going to say, oh, so because you make more on all these tips, and even though you're going to get a job or you're going to get a paycheck for your employer on your regular pay, the fact that you're not getting all the tips that you want, or whatever you want to call that in that scenario, oh, is that why you want to get unemployment? How's that going to look when there's a gun carrying agent? Because all the gun carrying agents in any agency that you pick, including unemployment, okay, are investigating fraud. And it's not going to fly when one of the employees says, well, yeah, my employer went and got PPP money. They were going to pay me what I normally get paid, but I could make more off unemployment, so therefore I went and got unemployment. So as employers, unfortunately, we need to be in a set of circumstances to protect ourselves, to protect our business, to save any kind of issue at a later date. So I was successful in talking to this one employee, because what I made clear is that when they go and file in Oklahoma, they send a notice to the employer that the employer has to sign off on. So the employers better not be signing off on the fact that it's like, yeah, it's okay for them to get unemployment. So I understand now all of a sudden employees are against the employers, and it shouldn't be, and the employee is going to lose. The employee is going to lose, and you should take the ringleader and fire him now. You're gone. See ya. The loudest mouth, fire him right now. Done. Okay? And guess what? You're collecting unemployment. You fired yourself, but you ain't coming back. I don't care who you are. You're committing fraud. Get out of here. Okay? Because they're committing fraud, and somehow you're going to end up in it. And you need to send a message to all your other employees. Period. But that's me, because I just don't mess around when it comes to fraud. I don't give a crap that someone's going to make a few more bucks on unemployment. That's not what PPP was designed for. But these employers are being put in impossible situations because you have these employees going, I'm going to go collect unemployment. They really can't do that. So there's nothing we can do as an employer, but what we can't do is sign off on it. What we can't do is allow it in the event that we're asked about it. So I think a way around it is, if you have a group of them, fire the top two. I don't care if they've been there 25 years. Shame on that employee that's getting mad at you. Shame on that employee that's taking advantage of the system. I don't care that they're going to make an extra 200, 300 bucks a week. I don't care. I don't care. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Here's what's wrong. You have an employer that's going to pay you. You need to take the job. All right. What was the question? ERC is an IOU. Yep, if you get PPP. It's basically an IOU, Carol. I love it, Joshua. You tell him, JJ. I love it.
Those were all the questions that we had screened.
Okay. I was going to just share a couple of things. So Mike, our good friend CPA out of Simi Valley, indicated that they got a letter back from the Senator Harris, indicating that they were aware of the concerns, and Mike had reached out, and so he was just giving me some feedback that the congressman and whatnot. 74 PMK, thanks for the info, signing off. Blair, I sense a second book coming. You are correct on that one. Let's see, I appreciate that. Okay, so Mike, thanks for the follow-up on that. Let's see, so someone emailed, let's see, Larissa. We were a single member LLC, filed Schedule C in 18, but then we made an S election in 19 and then got approved, but we didn't make enough for salaries in 19 and no payroll in 19, but we started the payroll January 2020. Can we use payroll for 2020 to do PPP, or do we file a Schedule C since we didn't take salaries, just draws? So Larissa, let them know when we replied back, but you're stuck with the S Corp, but yes, you can use the wages from 2020. Basically, you just take the wages for the first 2 months divided by 2. That's the amount you get to use. That's what's in the law very clearly. So look in 1102, just go find it. you can see that it's spelled out in that. And so just do me a favor, okay? Because I can't come up with every scenario and all my worksheets and everything. So do me a favor and go to the PPP or PPP forgiveness page on my website. You're going to see the cartoon character of JJ the CPA, so to speak. You're going to click on it. It's in the CARES Act. You're going to open it up. Don't be scared, and I'm saying it by having fun. But it's the CARES Act. Okay, it's section 1102, and when you read through, you're not going to have to read far, but it talks about that. And bottom line is you're taking your wages for the first 2 months. But I hope that your bank understands that that is allowed, but that's what you'd have to do. You wouldn't be able to do a Schedule C. Got some wonderful emails from Tony. Tony sent me a spreadsheet. So the spreadsheets are coming out related to the forgiveness. And then Brad, so Brad, who's a CPA, great CPA, who, by the way, gosh darn it, we need to send him a t-shirt and a book. I don't think we sent him one.
Nope, we have not.
I just remembered.
I do have it on my list.
Okay, make a big fat note right here. Brad, t-shirt, and a book. Okay, but anyways, 30 billion or less for 100 banks. Seems like a sweet spot with the PPP. So in what was just passed here a while ago was a definition of the 2 different levels of banks that are going to be guaranteed at least 30 billion. But one of these levels, there's only 100 banks. So how do you find out? I don't know, other than if you have a bank and they've got one location and they're in the center of town, probably going to be one of those banks that qualifies, assuming that they're doing it. Let's see. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think I've touched on everything. Shout out to Sean Goodman, CPA, the Sean Goodman. He has provided a lot of good info, which I really appreciate, as well as Mike. And just really appreciate everybody's support. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to sign off. We'll be on tomorrow, Friday at 4. And we will know, oh, you've been approved with Chase. I love it. So tomorrow, hopefully we know more. What I'd love is when we get on at 4. Golden Boyd, thank you so much. Gina, thank you. Anthony, I have to run my tattoo shop like a lemonade stand for too long, and it's kicking me in the booty. I need a CPA. Sorry, I'm sure the email is here somewhere. Let's see. JJ at JJ the CPA help.com. JJ at jjthecpahelp.com. Let's see, actually. Let's see. JJ. Thank you, Alyssa. JJ at jjthecpahelp.com. JJ at jjthecpahelp.com. Thank you. All right, Carol, thank you so much. Crash and Burn. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sarah K, thumbs up. Jean, thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Anthony, thank you. Let's see. Shoot, it went away. Francono, dang it. Missed it. Let's see. SFOTR. Tony, thank you. Carol, thank you so much. Anthony, I really appreciate it. Paul, thumbs up for sure. I really, really appreciate it. Anthony, thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. LTV, Totis, and Dark Waters, appreciate as always. Hopefully Trump will sign PPP2 and people have their apps accepted by live session tomorrow. That would be freaking awesome, Jason. You deserve it. Mike Fisher, JJ, deserve all the credit for sounding the call to action. Thank you so much, Mike. Hey, Mike, thanks for being on. Yeah, the Mike Fisher. He also sent us a picture. Boom, right there, double thumbs up with Mike. Garrett, thank you so much. Did I miss the answer, Garrett? You did. Schedule C divided by 52 weeks times 8. That's your answer. See you, Kenda. Thank you so much. Joshua, thank you. Tina, thank you. Garrett. So take Schedule C divided by 52 weeks times 8 weeks. That's the amount that's automatically forgiven. It's just under 75%. All right, Greta, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tiny Dancer, how you doing? Al Salerno, help, filed unemployment. Schedule C, Uber, raise, no avail. They said able, available, nice benefits, stop, fact finding. Yeah, I don't know. You know, on the Uber driver, you should qualify for the PUA. You can get the PPP. I've done a couple of videos just for Uber drivers. If you can go check it out, I think it's under the PPP self-employed. But if you just look through my videos, on the thumbnail is the Uber logo on 2 of them where I talk specifically. But on the PUA, you should be able to. Lawrence, thank you. And Ryan and Trish, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Trish. Let's see. Good night, guys. I'm signing off for today. Enjoy hearing the info you have to offer, and thanks again for all your hard work. Thank you, Kenda. I really appreciate that. Thanks for all that you do. Andrew, can you raise payroll to take advantage of full PPP loan forgiveness? This is for an S Corp. No, because it's based on your last 12 months. You'd have to justify that to the IRS agent, Secret Service agent that you should plan to sit across from on why you gave yourself a raise. So it's based on the past, so you just need to stick with that. Trish, good night to you. Justin, any help with someone in my situation? I have a W-2 that's still open and paying. Have a sole member LLC, side hustle, revenue 75% down. So basically, net loss, you won't be able to do anything there. What I suggest, Justin, is get after the EIDL. Pay attention to when it comes online. It's at sba.gov. You apply for it there, have all that information. It won't matter that you have a loss or wages. Felix.
Good night, Nancy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Appreciate you. And then Kitty. I don't know if Kitty O'Sullivan's still on, but Kitty, appreciate you for being on. Let's see. Felix, I also think I missed the answer. We have a partnership file 1065. Do we just submit the 1065? Yes, Felix. You will apply for PPP under the partnership ID number. So what I want you to do is look at jjthecpahelp.com, go to the forgiveness page. There's SBA guidelines on April 14th. You can look in there, but it does have to be self-employed. Self-employment earnings means it's not just box 1. It's either box 4 or 14 of the Schedule K1. There's not total clearance if it's 4 or 14 or 4 and 14, so you need to check with your bank. But yes, the K1 from partnership, if subject to it, is going to be the one that you would want to use. Let's see. Yeah, Benjamin Ham, thank you. I will get some sleep tonight, I promise, because I've got too much to do tomorrow. LTV, thank you. You're awesome. SFLOTR, thanks, JJ. Your tons of help. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Nancy H, much appreciated. I have to bubble wrap myself now and go check my mail for your books. I love it. John Hamilton, hello, Kitty. Oh, Kitty, well, have a good night, Kitty. We appreciate you. Hope you've been doing well. Thank you, Mike Fisher, CPA. God's Dozer. Boom.
God's Dozer.
Boy, if I missed any of your questions, I'm sorry that I did. Good to see you, God's Dozer.
Jason says, Amanda's waiting for dinner, JJ.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris Perry, what if I got the AODO ground in the first round? Can I apply again? I'm saying if it was less than 10, try. Fred, let's see. Happy trails to you. See you again tomorrow. Thank you, JJ and Amanda. House passed it. Love it. ARK is PP2 will not be available through large banks or only through small banks. I think they're going to be through both, but the small banks have special preferential treatment, so use that wisely. Jason, thanks for staying on. Kitty, yes, say goodbye, JJ. You're 8 minutes overdue. All right, Lori, hello, JJ and Amanda. Thanks, Lori, for being on. We're about ready to sign off. Can we apply if we got first rounding of the EIDL? David, if you got less than 10. All right, hey, Lori, Alyssa, thanks so much. Time for a cocktail. I'm taking you up on that. I'm totally taking you up because I need to relax. I need to come down and I need to go to bed tonight. I'm not gonna. I don't think we went long enough. I'm not gonna do an update video because then just get excited and I start thinking about everybody.
I'm not even gonna let him look at YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna delete everything off his phone.
I love it. LTV, JJ, if the business has paid for IRS that can disqualify the PPP. No, if you have any IRS issues, it doesn't disqualify PPP. Kelly Thomas, thank you so much. Alyssa, cheers. Yeah, see, Alyssa's like, hey, listen, cheers. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, so are you, Kitty.
Let's all drink with JJ. You got it, Dave.
Yeah, we will be doing
Crash and
another
burn,
virtual happy hour soon, so you guys stay tuned.
You know what? Tomorrow's Friday, 4 o'clock. We're gonna do an update. We'll get down to business, but we will each have a cocktail. So for those of you that are still on, we're gonna be doing cocktails at 4, but we will be doing our normal.
Okay.
All right, y'all have a great night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Anita. And yes, I will get some rest. Are you taking new Oklahoma clients? Anita, email me.
Is there more Oklahoma?
Okay, well, you email me. JJ@jjthecpahelp.com. Love to visit with you. Oh, yes, and a stogie. Alyssa. Oh, Alyssa, I love you because you're just attempting me to get off and go have a cocktail with the lovely Amanda, my soulmate. Let's see. Joshua Flores, yes. Elizabeth, Sionaro for now. Candace, thank you and good night. Daniel, bottoms up. I love it. I love it.
We love you guys.
All right, love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for everything. What are we at? 155 minutes.
No.
Here we go. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.